Yeah, it works.
We usually just sniff the microphone. Are we going?
Yeah, we're on.
We're on.
Yes.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
What about on Audition?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everywhere. Look at that. See? Everyone should have a Ronin, shouldn't they?
Is that how you starting the podcast with a sigh?
Luke Kidgell. Oh, fuck.
I'll be honest, I don't feel very welcome.
Nah, you'll feel welcome after this.
Yeah.
Oi, you... Good, mate. I'm just starting a podcast, so I'm going to have to fucking call you back.
Hey mate, how's that microphone smell?
Yeah, it still smells like your cock, not even joking. You're a fucking pest. Okay, bye. So that's my friend Ben.
Yeah.
And
Hang on, which cock did he rub his mic?
his
Sorry.
on my mic.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so he come in the studio for our Christmas party.
Sorry, I meant which microphone did he rub his cock on?
Which cock did he
Not,
rub at mine? Yeah.
not which cock did he rub your mic on?
Which one of his cocks?
But I guess it goes both ways.
It does.
You know?
One and the same. Look, I was sighing because I'm relieved. I'm happy you're here. It's been a year.
It has.
It's too long.
I'm happy I'm not in Melbourne.
Yes.
Yeah. And for any video watchers of this, audio people, just know that I'm progressively getting redder and redder throughout the episode.
Yes.
I walked today 6 kilometers along the beach, you know, because
It was hot.
it was, and I've been in Melbourne inside my house in a lockdown for a year, and I briefly forgot that I was the whitest man alive, but the sun did not.
No. The sun
Yeah.
remembers.
Yeah, Elmo wants his everything back, Jace.
You are cooked. You
Yeah.
literally cooked yourself. I didn't know what...
I'd go on Sesame Street. They'd be like, mate, that's cultural appropriation. Okay, that's fucked up. You can't just be walking around looking like that. It's bad.
It's real.
Ronan, you guy, the temp or whatever, he has the work experience kid. Or is he past that?
No, he's on. He's been...
Sorry,
no,
I'm just the people I work with who do this job for my
They're just shit
podcast.
cunts,
Yeah.
Nah.
They've been working with us for the years. They're still on work experience.
Yeah, no, Ronan's fully... He's fully... he's a... You know what he is? He's a Padawan.
Yeah, okay.
He's a Gypsy Padawan.
That's good.
And I tell you what, the Force is strong.
But we have not granted you the rank of master yet.
Oh, no.
Getting there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a minute.
You gotta control your temper. Don't go on Anakin. I don't think Star Wars references like go that well in a motocross podcast. Do they?
Fear leads to hate. Hate
Yeah.
leads to suffering.
Yeah,
You know,
and suffering leads to Ronan not becoming a master.
working at McDonald's.
Yeah. And you know where else? And
Takes time.
if I can I just say one bit of feedback,
Yeah,
Ronan?
yeah.
We've known each other for about 3 minutes.
Yep.
I think you seem like a great
Stand
guy.
up. So far, stand up guy.
What's up with the socks and sandals?
It's quick.
They're Birkenstocks too.
Right? I'm running out of the house. I slide these on so quick. I don't have to tie up any laces.
Yeah, okay.
So you know how
I take it back. That's a man that's in a rush, and I respect that. It's efficiency over fashion.
Yeah,
It's
that's how
fashion
you.
as well. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's how you know that he's getting comfortable, because like for the first couple months that he was here, he was like wearing dope Nikes to work
Yeah.
every day, and then it's like
Now he's open-toed shoes. Not yet. Socks.
socks with
Yeah,
open-toed shoes.
Give it a week.
Yeah,
There'll
I
be
know,
some
eh?
toes in here.
Yeah, so
There'll
that
be some feet up in this bish.
the honeymoon period is slowly fading away,
Yes.
and I will probably get progressively more and more of a cunt to him as well, because like I'm controlling my cuntness on my end too. You know what I mean?
Literally, we walked in today. I go, Ronan, lovely to meet you. Heard some great things. And he goes, oh, from Jace. And I go, yeah. And then you come in and go, the little cunt. I was like, okay, I take that back.
Tough crowd. The thing that we've identified as maybe one of the things that works for our crew, like with Sammy and Maddie and like our little crew, we're all doing pretty well at the
Yeah.
moment. Everyone's progressing.
Mate, you're crushing it.
I think it's ruthless roasting of your friends though.
But that's every friendship group
Yeah,
ever. Like
yeah. That's what propels you forward. If you lean in, into
yeah.
that, that's what pushes you forward.
That's your word of the year.
All right, lean in. Yeah, that's my 2020. That's what I took out of 2020.
Just
Lean in.
Lean in.
I reckon in like 2012 it was move the needle. That's dead to me now. It's really leaning in.
Yeah, you've kicked your heroin habit, and you're moving forward, and we love that.
Now
about
it's
you,
a lean.
Jace.
Now it's a lean habit.
You're slowly getting to sobriety.
Well, so Luke Kidgell joins us in the podcast studio. One of my personal favourite guests on this podcast.
Oh, mate, thank you.
So not affiliated with anything that this show is normally affiliated
And
with.
so, I'm not sure, but I guess so little respect.
Oh, no one
I would
gives
receive.
a
No
fuck
one.
about you.
Oh.
It's awesome.
And you know what? If you are a fan of MotoGP or compete, the feeling is very mutual from my end. I come on here because I got tickets to sell, and if you want a break from in your ears all day, come listen to me. Go, hi guys, what's up? I'm Luke.
I'm so white.
No better.
Not today.
Yeah, so that's kind of my deal.
But I love you coming on here. These
Mate,
are
I love doing this podcast.
these are some of the funnest ones that I've ever done. Has been.
That's very kind.
And today we got like the full. I'm excited to give you the full experience of like we got the TV, we've got a minion, like all of that. If you want something, if you feel like water, you can be like, Ronan, I want water.
Really?
And you'll get it. You will 100%
He
get
just
it.
shook his head. He's not going to get water.
I didn't sign up for this.
No.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited to give you
You
that.
know what I just realized, Ronan? I just think you realized what you'd actually signed up to.
What is this? What is this?
Yeah, you were like, I'm going to be on a podcast. I'm combining my two favorite things, like, you know, making content and MotoGP. And then you're going to be like at a tap going, what the fuck have I committed to?
Why did I do this? But yeah, so full experience today, mate.
Dude, you
Anything?
think you're moving up in the world.
Thanks,
It's
mate.
exciting to see. The video that's up on the screen, I knew I was going to die.
Oh,
Matt
yeah.
McDuff talks the loop of doom crash that nearly killed him.
Go to the thumbnail.
Well, hang on,
go
can
back.
I-
Just so he can see. He needs to see the thumbnail.
Yeah, but can I just point it out? He was wrong.
He was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is an ironic statement.
I'm sorry, Matt, but come off a bit stupid now, saying I knew I was going to die.
I knew I was going to drown, but
Well,
you obviously didn't.
It's like, well, you're incorrect. That's all right. We all make mistakes.
Look at the thumbnail.
But I'm glad he survived.
That's a 40-foot circle that he tried to ride in, just like a loop to do, and that's him getting thrown out the top of it.
Oh, like that's what I've seen Tony Hawk try and do that.
Yeah. So he
Well,
made.
not to that scale. Like I've seen someone do a 360 on it.
Yeah. So he
You
tried.
can do that on a bike?
Yeah.
Well,
So he's done it on a 20-foot version. So then he's like, all right, I'll just do twice as big now. So I'll go 40 foot and then I'll make the run in twice as high.
do you
Like,
get twice as much speed from a twice as high running?
you'd have to ask him. I think that the answer's yes.
No.
But I think the problem was, so he got all the way down it. So he got down and then he went up and then there was so much G forces that it blew his hands. He couldn't hold on to the handlebars. And then so he just fucking pushed through and just went flying out of it.
Oh my god!
And he's like flying through the air and he had like seconds in the air, 40 feet up and just flying, dude.
How did he survive?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
that's why he knew. Yeah.
He's like, he's saying, oh, I knew I was going to die. He's like, I literally was just in the air. And he's like, it was probably a couple seconds. And he's like, man, I literally thought everything about my entire life. He's like, I thought I was a piece of shit. Why did I do this to my family? Why did I do this to my friends? Like he had this whole story of like, I guess that's like your life flashing before your eyes, you know? And he just had like this insane regret of fucking up his life. He's like, he had all this potential.
You know what
He
I
had all this-
regret the most? Thinking I could do a
Do a loop,
360 around a 40-foot ramp. That'd be my only regret in that situation. I would have been like, maybe I should have stuck to 20 foot. 20 foot was heaps. That's enough.
No, not
You
for
don't
him.
think that's enough?
No, not for him.
That's awesome. What a legend.
Insane
I mean,
though, eh?
does he still ride?
Yeah,
He doesn't have a fear of riding anymore?
No,
Oh
he
my
just
God.
dropped like a really cool edit on
That's-
the internet the other day.
That's cool.
But so all he did, dude, was break his wrist. He like fucked his wrist up, like shattered his wrist, and then broke his leg. That's it. And his lungs filled up with blood. That's it.
Wow. I mean, that sounds
It's
all
still
horrible.
hectic, yeah.
But also,
But
a
when you see
miracle.
that picture,
Is that the real picture?
that is the real picture. That's not
And he just fell on what? Dirt.
the ground. Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah. Just he'd be winded.
Oh, dude, I just like, yeah, it was fucking he's honestly like the nicest dude. Like, it's insane how nice he is.
My sunburn's not looking that tough anymore, is it?
Nah.
Here I am. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to brag, but Yep.
Got hit pretty hard today.
Got some rays this morning. Oh well, not looking that cool anymore. No one thought I was cool. That's all right.
Just going to be a big week of recovery.
Yeah, a lot of aloe vera. You name it, I'll be there. You know.
Mentally, I could get into a pretty dark place this week.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is fuck when you live life this gnarly.
Yeah.
This is a consequence of being this heavy.
When in the Gold Coast, don't wear a
100%.
cap.
You love the Goldie.
I fucking love the Gold Coast.
How good is it?
I love it for 2 reasons.
Shoot.
Reason 1, I genuinely love it. I want to say it for the second reason. I genuinely love it. Like, it's sunny, the weather. Everyone here is here because they want to enjoy their life.
Yes.
And like, there's not that many crazy business opportunities or anything. How people, you know, that's often the reason why people are in a city. You know, like to chase their dream or whatever. Here, it's like people enjoy the lifestyle, and that's why they come here or stay here.
Yeah.
But the second reason I love the Gold Coast is because this place is fucked, dude. This place is like, every time I come here, it's awesome. I did a gig last night in Palm Beach. The first comedian, she performed with her child strapped to her. Like, she used her baby as a prop. As a prop. I've never seen that before. I do a lot of comedy.
Man, I've had this gag in the works for 9 months. This has been a 9-month prep time for this set.
It was crazy. And then, dude, I was on stage, a dude in the front row, and now I want to make it really clear that I'm not lying here, because it's a thing that you're like, yeah, bullshit.
Whatever, this didn't happen.
A guy shot himself in the front row.
What?
Like about 45 years old, big day of day drinking, and didn't do it when he was there. Like, he had already changed, but was like, I was like, oh, what? Like, I was like, why are you so grumpy, mate? Like, he was hating the night, and he just like very candidly admitted to shitting himself. And I truly believe he was being genuine, because all his mates were behind him just giggling, going, yeah, they're not his jeans.
Wow. Well, you know what they say. You haven't been drunk until you shit yourself.
Well, I've never been drunk.
I've never been drunk either. That's literally my next door neighbour.
Yeah.
Fucking most Aussie pisshead bloke you've ever met in your life. And that's what he says. He's like, you haven't been drunk till you shit yourself. So use that as your yardstick.
That's okay. That sounds like the words of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's someone who has hit rock bottom
So many
and
times.
never left. Like, they're on the rock. They're just chilling.
Dude, this guy is actually like the biggest G ever. Like, he's a full political dude, like in the unions and shit like that.
Yeah.
But just like the most Aussie bloke on the piss.
Monday to Friday, he's like a businessman, and then Friday 4 p.m.
But just good. You know
he's
what?
shitting himself.
He's a rare breed too, because he's just not fucking doing rack. He's not, you know what I mean? He's not like partying. He's just on the piss.
Just drinks. Yeah.
No one's just
me.
on the piss these days. I feel
That's
like.
me. I've never done a drug in my life. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. Yeah, I'm boring. Very boring.
Just on the piss, old school, mate.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... And you know why alcohol... this is really bad. You know why alcohol's good? Because it kills millions of people a year. No.
So the thing about alcohol is leading cause of death. Need I say more? Unreal.
So good. Drink up.
Shit.
No, the reason why it's good is because there is a very clear line of when you should stop, I think. But I've never done any other drugs, but I think often where I see other people on drugs is seems like there's no line until it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never done drugs, so that's what I assume it's like from observing people on drugs. When you're drinking, there's always like an hour period where you're like, oh, I'm pretty tipsy, or I've got stuff to do tomorrow, I'm gonna be hungover. So you just like, I find it easy to call it quits.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm not an actual alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, some drugs, it's like you pretty much what you're doing is like, let's say you take MDMA. You're like, yep, yum, gulp, sip, did that. And then, so it's like handing your ticket to someone on a roller coaster. Yes, and then they lock the door behind you. Yeah, they lock the door behind you. And then you're just like in like a foyer, like, oh, so when does it start? When does the people get, like, when does the show start? And then like slowly the show just starts approaching you. And it's like, Could be a good show. Could be a bad show.
Yeah.
There's a show, and then at the
And
end
this-
of the day, that same dude will let you out.
And there's no going back as
No.
well.
But
You've already paid for your ticket.
yeah, when you're on the piss, you can be like, nah, I'm
Yeah.
just not drinking.
I can
I'm
leave
fucking
anytime.
done. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's-
with-
that's. I think I like having the out point
Yeah.
with alcohol, and it's also it takes a lot longer to get, to get to the point of out.
Dude,
as
one
well.
of the last times that I reckon I was like, had a really fun time drinking was with you at,
When we did this,
when
like-
we did the festival.
the fest. Oh, at Cairns.
And then the Gold.
Yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
I was sick at the
Oh, the
Cairns
Cairns
one,
one, the Gold Coast
but the
one.
Gold Coast
Yeah.
one. I was fucking pissed when I left
Yeah,
there,
dude,
That
we
was fun.
Had so many vodka Red Bulls, which by the way that actually is bad for you.
Yeah.
That's one. Don't drink up vodka
Yeah.
Red Bull. That it's a depressant and a what's the other
Stimulant.
Stimulant at the same time. Oh, really bad. Heart will explode when I'm about 64.
I
after
honestly
that day.
think that the sugar is worse for you than the alcohol most of the time. The things that
Oh, I think
fuck
I took
you,
3 years of my life that day.
Oh, 100%. And then the sun.
Yeah, I took another year off today.
Yeah. But like the no sleep and sugar is a thing that makes drinking so gnarly. So I've also figured out, like, obviously I don't really drink that much as it is, but I've also figured out I have like a full-on food allergy to vodka.
Well, that's not a food allergy, is it?
Whoa, what would it be?
It's Ronan laughed. It's a liquid allergy. I don't know. It's not an allergy. It's just what you have in like you actually think
Literally
you have an
allergic.
intolerance to vodka.
Yeah, 100%.
Was it like everyone has that one drink that like they can't do? Is it like that?
Nah, it's
But
like,
it's like an actual physical. I enjoy vodka, but my body can't handle it.
so vodka is my drink of choice. So if I go to dinner or I'll get a couple
Sure.
drinks, I'll get
Just like how an anaphylactic peanut butter is their choice of spread.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes life just really
it's
wants
very
to fuck
toxic.
you like that. So yeah, I went out for dinner and like, so I got one kidney. So the whole alcohol thing is hard to identify because there's a condition there where I really kind of can't be drinking anyway. So I'd go out and I'm like, I'd have 2 vodkas, like 2 Moscow Mules, right? Wake up in the morning with like a sinus infection essentially and a crazy fucking, like the worst hangover that you could ever fucking want to have.
Is that just because of your medical condition?
So that's what I thought. I was like, this is just like the whole one kidney thing. Like, it's got to be the fucking kidney. And then I went out and I was like, a couple drinks. Maybe it's just I'm that much of a pussy these days. But then I went out for literally 1 drink, 1 vodka. Woke up in the morning, crazy sinus headache. Nose was blocked up like I'd been doing rack for 3 days. Like, I literally felt like a piece of shit. And I was just like, alcohol. So then I Googled like vodka allergy, and it's a thing.
And it's a thing.
Yeah, it's fully a thing.
Get on the tequila.
That's what I'm doing.
Like instead of just changing my habits.
So agave, if you get 100% pure agave, can we just Google like vodka intolerance or like vodka allergy? But yeah, so years ago, I knew this dude in America, and his dad, he's a Canadian guy. His dad owns like one of the biggest steel mills in Canada. And his son was like the fucking liaison of like Van Wilder essentially for like his dad's fucking steel company. He's
Yeah.
like the coolest, funnest dude. So he used to fly all these like union workers and steel workers and everything around on private jets, taking to party. Like his job was to party. And he just was getting these fucking psycho hangovers, but it was literally his job to party with these dudes.
Yeah.
So then, anyway, he goes to this naturopath and
By
he's
the way,
like,
don't feel sorry for this guy.
yeah,
That's
I know,
not a
eh?
job.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
You don't have a job.
No.
So he goes to this naturopath and said that he goes, yeah, you're allergic to vodka. So I forgot about all this until I kind of started, and I was like, dude, I've actually met a guy. So he started a tequila company because apparently if you get pure 100% agave tequila, it's just like a non-allergenic in that same way.
Right. But he gets you just as cooked.
Yeah, but I'm too scared to get drunk anyway. Alcohol intolerance can cause immediate uncomfortable reactions after you drink alcohol. The most common symptoms are a stuffy nose and skin flushing.
Oh my
Alcohol
God.
intolerance is caused by a genetic condition in which the body can't break down alcohol efficiently. The only way to prevent these uncomfortable reactions is to avoid alcohol. Although not a true allergy, it's a pussy allergy. In some cases, what seems to be alcohol intolerance might be a reaction to something in an alcoholic beverage, such as chemical, grains, or preservatives.
Yeah, that's a very long definition. It should just say alcohol intolerance and then underneath un-Australian.
Yeah, pussy,
Yeah.
shit.
Should just say get the fuck out.
Not here.
Yeah.
Not on this island.
Yeah. If you even Google this, you should have your citizenship revoked.
So can we find out if the tequila
Ronan,
thing...
sorry mate, you're an expat now. you're gone.
Yeah.
It's not on you, but it was your IP address.
It's not you, it's me, but you're the one getting fucked. So yeah, now I'd go like, is tequila for alcohol? I don't know what we'd even Google.
Is
for here.
tequila? This type of tequila for nerds.
Yeah, to pussies drink
This is
tequila.
such a toxic attitude. I'm joking, guys. By the way,
This is what Luke does for anybody that doesn't know.
I come here and I just pressure Jace to ruin his life.
I'll probably say in the intro that you're a comedian, but Luke Kidgell's a comedian in case people don't know
People
that.
at this point forward would be like, this guy's very confident and a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, who is this kook? Who is this sunburned man with a lot to say?
That is my energy. A little bit red, a little bit lippy.
Yeah, anyway. So we probably don't need to look into the tequila thing, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
Alcohol allergy. So now...
Well, now I'm not going to buy you a drink.
No, buy me a
buy you a
tequila.
nice tequila. Yeah.
So Tommy's Mug, no salt. That's my
okay.
new drink. Don't
Nice.
mind it. But yeah, so anyway, the Gold Coast.
Dude, best place in the world. I just love it. I just love the whole thing. Yesterday, I did a corporate gig, and I don't know if you're aware, but there was an AFL player there called Jason Ackermanis.
Yeah.
Are you aware of him?
The Lions, right?
Played for the Lions.
Bleached
and
hair.
also ended his career at the Bulldogs, but mainly known for playing the Lions. He's also known for doing handstands. It was like he's
Never seen him. I didn't know that was a thing.
It was like after every time they won, he'd like go into the middle of the ground and do a handstand, and people would go nuts. It was,
I kind of actually, that does ring a bell.
his thing.
Yeah, his
And
shtick.
I was at this gig, right, and there was a charity auction, and Jason Ackermanis, one of the things on the auction was like, oh, everyone put in some money for charity, and a bunch of rich people are there. And they were like, oh, everyone put in some money for charity, and Acker will do a handstand. He gets up there, everyone goes nuts. Like, oh my God, Acker's doing his signature thing. He nailed the handstand, and he was, he had a few beers. It was great. And I had still had to go up there and do 20 minutes. How the
After
fuck am I
this.
supposed to compete with that?
No.
Like,
Not in this city.
No, not in any city.
Not in this
Acker's
city,
the king.
bucko.
All right, this is his hometown doing his one thing
Yeah.
for cash.
Yeah, for charity.
He's doing his for charity. I'm being paid into my personal bank account.
You're doing this for profit.
No
you
one
dog
even
cunt.
wants me there. It's a corporate gig. They're there to drink and network, and they're like, "Oh, here's a comedian for 20 minutes." Like, I just interrupt their day, and I'm like, and the people are looking at me like, "Acker's already done a handstand. Why the fuck are you here?"
We don't need anything else
Yeah.
now.
We've had it, the entertainment. Right? Do a backflip then, you dog, I would have had to do some form of gymnastics to top him. I didn't.
You should have tried to breakdance
Or the windmill.
and gave it like an honest crack. You know what I mean?
And then even if it didn't...
Like, while Jason Ackermanis is doing a handstand, you're quickly YouTubing on your phone how to breakdance.
Yeah.
Breakdancing for
I'm
beginners.
just Googling a head spin. And I'm like just like trying to order a helmet and get it fast tracked to
there
the
a PA?
hideaway in Broadbeach.
Is there a PA here? Can you please play Bomb Funk MC's Freestyler?
Oh man, because that's the thing. If I gave it like an earnest crack at just breakdancing, it wouldn't be good. But no one can be like, well, he didn't try his
He didn't
fucking heart out.
really go for
Yeah,
it, like-
he didn't come here and he didn't come here to fuck spiders at least. He came here, gave it an honest crack, and you got to respect that in Queensland. But instead, I just did 20 minutes of comedy and
And murdered.
yeah, as hard as you can at a corporate, So it's always people going because they don't want to laugh around their boss.
Well, that's like the weird social proof thing too. Like,
It's also daytime. The microphone's
Yeah.
crackly. There's no stage. Half the audience isn't facing you. It's a bad situation to
so
be in.
what's the analogy here to, like, let's say that
The MotoGP analogy.
no, let's say like
Imagine here's one. Imagine if you were trying to ride a bike into the ocean.
Can you please Google
there's a
Robbie
clip.
Madison pipe dream?
Okay, damn it. I'm about to watch someone do it with ease, aren't I?
Oh, watch
Shit.
this. Watch this.
You're about to get an education.
Holy shit. I think I might have seen this before.
Yeah. So, fucking, were you doing this, Luke? Is this what you're comparing yourself to?
Okay.
Fast forward into
like,
the good shit.
I feel like yesterday's Brewers lunch did not go
Is
as
that
well.
where it? I got invited to that.
Oh, mate, why didn't you come?
Didn't go. I'm not rich enough.
Dude, I was actually speaking of rich people. I got a good story for you. Yes, I have seen this.
So right, this is a friend of ours, friend of the show, fellow Gypsy gang member.
Name
you have
drop.
something in common with him, mate. You're a name to drop as well. You know. Look at this shit.
How far does he go?
Have you watched all this? It's fucking
Yeah,
unreal.
not for years though. This was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Unreal, eh?
So, okay, it's essentially a boat. I mean, it's got like. No, I'm not trying to take anything away from you, Rob. Very impressive.
Rob dog,
You are
doing
quite
well.
literally doing some Jesus riding on water shit.
Yeah, all it is, man. He's just put like paddles on either side to just give him
And
like a
how
little
much
bit of lift.
speed do you have to keep up to keep it going? Because bikes are heavy,
Yeah, he's fucking pinned. Like he's going as fast as that bike will go.
and bikes aren't meant to float. I guess but jet skis are meant to float.
So
though.
there's nothing there that floats. Like that bike
Yeah.
sinks. So there's nothing
you have
there
to
that
keep up the speed.
like he has to ride that.
Whatever
thing.
happened to the? He did not do a wave
Wait. He did, my friend.
for audio listeners.
This has 33 million.
Yeah, I'm assuming
fucking
everyone's already
views.
seen this. Who listens
Yeah,
to this
everyone's seen
podcast.
this that listens, but yeah. I mean, it's quite cool to get your take on it. This is Chopu, one of the most...
My take, he's gonna kill someone boogie boarding. Imagine if you were just like, for everyone, there's people looking at him on surfboards going, why the fuck is there a guy on a motorbike? This is the coolest thing ever.
What a fucking savage, eh? So,
You friends with this guy?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude.
None of my friends are that cool.
So look at this thing. So there's like a bit of a story to it, but they got that shot before of him riding the wave when the swell wasn't like that gnarly. They were just trying to get like the complete story arc. But this is like heavy. Like he's on a really big version of this wave now. Like look at that thing.
Oh my god.
And underneath him, he's only in a few feet of water. So like that wave is breaking on top of reef that is, maybe like 5-6 feet.
Does he get thrown off?
Yeah, he almost fucking drowned. Like I don't know. So that's where like the reef is ending. See, like right at the end there, it's
my
like wrapping around the
God.
reef. So yeah, he got fucking minced in this, dude.
Obviously the bike
The bike went right
just
to the
right
bottom,
down.
and
Does it have to fish it out?
yeah, it ended up being a thing. But yeah, he's an Aussie dude.
Yeah, I've heard of him before.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So yeah.
Damn, your friends are so much cooler than mine.
So how's your analogy? It's like if you rode in the water.
Guys, it wasn't quite like that. It was like if you tried, do not pull up a video. It's like if you tried to ride to space.
Get the Tesla video.
You can pull up the clip, right?
Wait,
Some
speaking
guy
of,
with just like rockets attached to his bike to the moon.
let's go. Speaking of fucking going to space, have you seen last night, like the stone stretching that I was talking about?
Yeah.
So I spent like 20 minutes watching a breakdown of the last SpaceX launch that was a month ago.
Was this after you're stretching?
No, while I was stretching.
Okay,
So you
yeah.
just get into like a position and just stay
Yeah.
there for ages. And then you just do something to distract you from how much it hurts.
Yeah.
And so I was watching this breakdown on the SpaceX.
You did tell me though you'd been smoking.
Yeah.
So you were high. So you weren't in space, Jace.
No, I wasn't
you
in
were
space.
in your living room.
It was a good thing to watch whilst also high. But so have you ever watched like how they're doing these rockets and shit? Like,
No.
Bro, literally science fiction. Elon Musk is fucking Tony Stark. What they're doing with those rockets. So like you go to the rocket, it goes up, and then instead of going down and crashing or like landing in the fucking ocean or whatever, goes up, and then they get to like the peak of the like the trajectory of the rocket, then it starts falling down, and then they've got these just pull it up, maybe just go like SpaceX breakdown, like launch breakdown or whatever, and then it comes down, it's got like these flaps that open up, rockets boost it so it lays like this, and then it's got these arms that
This is like
fold out.
Thunderbirds.
It's full on science fiction, dude. And they're doing a launch. Yeah, that one there.
Elon Musk is
yeah,
a
go to that
legend.
2-minute one.
Dude, he made me so much money during the week.
Really?
Yeah. I'll
Wait,
see
you
you
invest
after.
in Dogecoin?
I'm on the Doge train.
Well, let's talk about that next. But yeah, so look, just watch this fucking flight. So this is a full-size rocket, and it goes up and fucking gets to the top of the trajectory, and then like the way...
How far up was it supposed to go?
Oh, I'm not sure. It goes up pretty...
Dude, this is like watching my career.
So it fucked up.
So good.
They shut off one engine at a time.
And here's the bit where I get cancelled, where it starts falling down.
Nah, that's we've got about a minute to go.
Okay.
So you've got a couple years where you're sort of like on the down, but still a rocket.
Yeah.
And then it just flames.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get burned as hard as your neck,
Yeah.
essentially. But yeah, so this thing's just like lingering. And then watch it come down. I had no idea that this was the shit that they were doing.
Boom. And this is me getting cancelled on
No,
Twitter.
not yet. This is like a problem. This is like your forest moment. This is like your suicide forest.
Yeah.
And then it goes down for a
Yeah.
while. So now it's like trying to get itself sorted. Look at this thing. It's like, all right, let's get flat. There's no one in this. This is a drone.
I'd hope so.
And it's just fucking doing the like free fall out of space. Or out of like the edge of the atmosphere, I guess. And it's like stabilizing itself.
Hang on. This is not...
This is
animated,
This
right?
No, this is the flight. This happened a month ago.
How do they film it so good?
What is this?
This bit here, I think, is an animation.
Yeah, that's explaining how it's done.
Yeah, so that's showing you how it's done. So it reorients itself to face down. And so look, that's real. And that's a rocket.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude. I had no idea. Like I knew, so it's fucked up now. So then that's the cancelled. So that's
Yeah.
really cancelled.
Yeah.
That could be like a drug overdose or something, you know? Like that's the
Yeah.
real end. But yeah, how fucking crazy
That was
is
a
that,
big
man?
explosion.
But isn't that insane that that's real? And that was SN8, I think that rocket's called. So that's their 8th launch that they've done. And the fucking hectic thing is, Elon Musk is on
Does that
Twitter.
mean SN1 to 7 were just fucking...
Terrible.
Terrible.
They've all crashed,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But they knew that that's what's happening. But how's this? Elon Musk is tweeting as it's going. So he's just standing in a control tower on Twitter being like, okay, that's cool, this, and this, so this is sweet. Then it gets up and then they were like, oh, yeah, we've got an issue with this, just cut out. And so he's tweeting like the whole thing and then he's like, cool, we'll be ready to go with SN9 in a month. Like, he is the boss of the world, essentially. I don't think there's anyone that is doing shit like Elon
He's the
Musk.
richest man in the world now.
Is he?
What was his like... So was Tesla like the way he came up?
Nah, PayPal.
What was... Oh, right. Was that his thing? How
He
did he get
started
rich?
PayPal.
Really?
Him and his brother started PayPal.
Jeez, he really left that behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like someone bought it for like $1 billion, and then or like billions of dollars, and then he moved into. Yeah, there was something else that he was doing. Then he got into Tesla. Then he got into SpaceX. Like he is a fucking G.
Just a hustler. He just does whatever he
Proper
wants.
G.
Once you get that much money, you can kind of just do whatever you want.
But like, I knew that they were doing the fucking. You know how his thing is like, oh, we're gonna go to Mars, and it's like, cool, Elon. But then you see that, and you're like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's optimistic. I just watched a pretty, but like I would say a pretty controlled crash, which is good. It wasn't like it went horribly wrong. It seemed like it went well for a bit. Yeah.
But it's gnarly that he's sitting there tweeting. There was one tweet where he's like, oh, we've lost X amount of pressure in this cabin now. So like, it was like a fuel cell. They like lost pressure because of something.
I
And
think
he's
it's
like,
crazy people who just fire off like 20 tweets a day. Like just in general. Like I've seen Elon just on Twitter, like he'll just be tweeting like all day. I'm like, dude, I barely even have 5 thoughts a day and pretty much none of them are worth repeating. Like I'd pretty much never like think of a thing.
No one
and go,
else needs to hear this.
must tell strangers. But in saying that, I do 3 podcasts a week and
True.
I actually do that all the time. I usually just say it into a microphone instead of
That's easier.
trying to get into 150 characters.
Do you tweet much at all? Like, do you do Twitter?
Let's see. Let's go down my Twitter. I don't think so. I think the last thing I tweeted was the guy who works on a show. So like our Ronan, his
Yeah.
sister thinks I'm hot.
Why?
Because I'm a snap. What do you mean?
What?
I'm a fucking tasty treat. What do you? I fit in on the Gold Coast. I was walking down the beach this morning, a little whiter than the other people, not anymore. But
Wow.
You know.
You look British.
yeah. All right, mate. Dude, I haven't seen you for a year. I coming to the Gold Coast, and you look like Lil Dicky if everything went wrong. Like, I've seen your Instagram. I'm like, how was lockdown, Jace? And I was like, never mind. Just saw a pic of you. Not good.
That's everything I need to know is right here. You're really wearing lockdown on your face there, bro.
But yeah.
Your head explains lockdown.
Yeah, man. As you coming at me. Why would she think you're hot? All right, guy wearing transparent Elton John glasses.
Probably has no prescription.
Yeah. I'm assuming they're just like, it's just a whole burly thing. Yeah.
Back to your Twitter.
Yeah.
So she thinks you're hot for some reason.
Oh, yeah. So I think that was the last thing I tweeted. I'm so done with Twitter. I can't work out how to find my profile. That's how little, I think that sums it up. How little I use the app. Oh, I found it. Yeah. Keelan just tweeted a monthly reminder that my sister thinks my boss is hot, and I retweeted it saying monthly reminder that Keelan's sister thinks I'm hot. So that's pretty much what I use it for. It's just bullying my employees.
Very similar to the way that Elon is using his tweeting about his $1 billion rocket explosions.
The tweet before that was just pugs are just doggy foreskins. So clearly I thought that one was worth sharing.
Worth it.
I was clearly sitting there that day going like, Luke, take the rest of the day off. That's a great thought. Yeah, wow. Yep, and then for about a week straight, I just was tweeting YouTube more like PooTube, and then Snapchat more like Snapcrap. I think it was an in-joke with Lewis. Twitter more like shitter. It was, yeah. So anyway, guys, don't follow me on Twitter is the moral of this. You're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a very American thing.
Yeah, it is. I think I mainly use it for shit posting.
Yeah. Okay. Just like doing
That's
it
what
for the
Australians use Twitter for, is shit posting and trying to change the world, but unsuccessfully doing so is generally what Twitter's for. And I mainly just get involved in the shit posting side, you know. But because I don't want to be big on that app. That app is like how you get people come after you.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
I say horrendous things all the time, so that app's just not for me. You know, I'm more of a YouTube man.
Yeah, you know you're lame.
Yeah.
It's so funny how the different platforms have such different audiences. man.
Dude, now TikTok's a thing.
Oh yeah, tell me about your TikTok.
I'm the TikTok king. Yeah.
TikTok goat.
Yeah, I'm the king of pre-pubescent boys and girls. Geez, saying that out loud is problematic.
No, you're fine.
They enjoy my content, guys. It's a one-way relationship. I post, they like.
Perfect.
But I don't really go on the app much because it turns your brain into sludge because it's just watching people like fucking dance and stuff. But I just go there, post my stand-up, and they go great because people have never seen comedy before on that app.
Really?
And it blows their mind.
No
Yeah.
shit. Is there other comedians doing it?
Yeah, there are now. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely becoming a bit of a thing. But like, yeah, I think I got like over a
Go onto his page.
over 250,000, and you'll see the stuff I post, just like short 20-second bits of crowd work. Like, I'll just be filming random shows I do, and I think something's like, yeah, kind of funny, I'll just post it.
That's sick.
But usually back in the day, I wouldn't have done that because, you know, like, I just don't want to like burn stuff.
Yeah.
But like, what am I now? 260. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't really check it that much. I just kind of go in there, post, and leave.
Well,
Well, you've cut off the first half of the joke. I was at a gig in Mackay. You know when you're doing like a pub and there's like the other room, they're just playing music really loud? You
Yeah.
can hear it. So disrespectful.
Heckled by music.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
Yeah, nothing worse. So that's just me calling Adam Levine a dog. And how many likes is that? Fucking 20,000 likes.
This was funny.
This was on the Gold Coast.
Just really helping
This was
you out
in
there.
Robina, that's why.
Robina?
Yeah.
Alright, kill the TikTok.
Yeah, so you just like put up little clips like that, then it goes
That's blowing
great.
up.
Yeah. Okay, you don't have to.
Clip it.
Yeah.
We started doing
You
some
should
TikToks.
do it. It's the best place to get views.
Yeah.
You'll find people on there like you use all the MotoGP hashtags and stuff, and you'll murder on that.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get new people, but kind of hard to convert them to other platforms and stuff because the people on TikTok are kind of just on TikTok. I don't think young people. This is probably a bit of a stereotype, but really young people, I don't think use Instagram that much anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy
It's really
that
weird because Facebook's well over. That's done.
done.
Completely.
My parents, Facebook.
Yeah.
Me, Instagram. Kids, TikTok.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to keep phasing out.
Because everyone's just becoming a creator now.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing it in your bedroom to your 20 friends, we're just like an elevated version of that. Like what I do is just like their version of, because everyone's making content, whether it's, they don't realize it, but they think, you know, like how they do trends and stuff. You see stuff on your feed all the time. 12 likes, just people giving it a go in their room. Everyone these days is a content creator.
Yeah.
If you're posting on Instagram stories to try and impress and stuff, that you're technically making content.
Yeah.
We're just like, what we do is just like a more
Professional version
we
of it.
just hone in on a particular part of it and try and monetize it essentially.
Yeah.
But everyone, that's the way the world's going. It's everyone is just a content creator, and some people just do it on a different scale to others.
I've been this is one of my weird thinking about it a lot versions, but it's like the stuff we were talking about at lunch today. It's like you've kind of got this like story about yourself in your head, right? And then you've got who you really are in the world, like how other people see you. And like your Instagram is this weird version of you. It's like this digital copy that you can kind of make a bit better, kind of make a bit prettier, kind of make a bit cooler.
Yeah.
And you can like buy shoes, post the shoes, sell the shoes. Like it's a real weird version of, it's like this digital copy.
Yeah, it's like a digital alter ego of yourself, because it's, and you say alter ego because it's no one's true form.
No.
I talk about this on my podcast. So I like have this running joke with like my audience and stuff that I'm just a piece of shit on Instagram, and like that's the joke. Like the first day when everyone went back to work, I was at Phillip Island at the beach, and I just put on my story a picture of the beach. All my friends had gone back to work that day after the January holidays, and I just go, "Hey, just reminding everyone that my life is better than yours, and I don't just mean even today. I mean better in general. Anyway, suck shit." Like just on my story, so many people get angry. Just like people go, fuck you, like you think you're better. And I'm like, yes, that's what Instagram's for.
Yeah.
Because if you're, unironically, if you're posting a picture of the beach without that caption, that's what you're saying anyway.
Yes.
So like, it's funny to just go out of your way to be an arsehole.
It's self-deprecation.
Dude, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just like, that's all Instagram is for, is pretending like your life's better. I wasn't even having fun. I was waiting for my girlfriend to get out of the toilet, and we're about to go back anyway. I wasn't even hanging out at the beach. It was just doing it to make people angry.
Well, man, you want to talk about the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
The Gold Coast, like, there was...
That's your whole culture.
That's
is what I did, ironically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's like a serious thing. Like, there is people that I follow that like they use the same filters, they've got a preset pack, like nothing's ever different. They've got like an aesthetic, they've got a style that they do on their Instagram.
Why do they think so much about it? Like anyone else cares.
That's what I was thinking. Well, no, people do care because like other people, it's like
but it's other versions of themselves.
I was going to say, it's like other people that are trying to do the same thing.
That's what it was like when we went to that music festival. We're in the VIP area.
Yeah.
At I forget what it was called.
What was it called?
Something green.
Grass is greener. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Ollie Frost.
I don't know who that is.
I know him.
Oh, is that the guy who's running it?
Yeah.
It was a great festival.
Yeah.
But we were in like this VIP area, and was just like ex-Bachelor contestants, Love Island contestants.
Yeah.
And they were all like taking photos the other day, and Jason and I just like getting smashed, filming some video, like some sponsored video going like, and like, but we'd try and talk to them, and like I'd walk away and Jason would be like, that bloke, fuck that guy. Like you were just like,
what are we doing?
You were just like, that was the worst conversation I've ever had. And I was like, I know.
Like it's like
it was like talking to a cement wall.
Yeah, it's like, what did we just say?
Yeah.
Like we talked, but what did we say?
Nothing.
We didn't say anything
They
to
just go,
anybody.
oh my god, so what do you guys do? And they're like, and you on Instagram? And I go, yeah. And they're like, oh, it's like, what's your name? And I like, they look at them and they go, oh, cool. Like, so you do like comedy and stuff? Oh my god, that must be so hard. That must be. It's like, you're so brave.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like,
We can talk about anything else.
I'm like, so how was fucking Love Island? Just like every.
Have you seen my YouTube channel where I roast?
Yeah, I was like,
all of
don't
you?
look me up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you featured.
I'm pretty sure I've ripped you apart.
You know what though? Some of them, I'm talking shit, but some of them, like most of them, actually are great sports. Like
Yeah.
some of them, like will send me the video and be like, "Man, I just watched this, so funny."
That's cool.
Like actually, the Love Island ones are better sports than the Bachelor ones. Bachelor
Yeah.
people take themselves very seriously. They don't like my videos, but the Love Island people really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They were sharing it on their
Dude,
pages and
I've
stuff.
I've thought about. Well, I was like, man, I wonder what it would be like to go on to one of those as like a normal person. Like, I wondered if I went on there and was just like, try to just be myself.
They tried to
I know
you
that they
trying to manipulate what you said.
But I feel like I wonder what it would
They
work.
kick you off. They wouldn't. You wouldn't get
Yeah,
on.
see, that's what.
Yeah.
Is that the answer? Because
Yes.
it's like if I went on there, but I went to whatever island it was, took 3 pairs of didn't take any nice clothes.
Yeah.
Like this would be my.
You
this
wore the
would
same
be me.
pair of underwear every day.
This would be me on Love Island. I would go there and they'd be like, you got to take this, you got to take this. I'd be like, yeah, cool. I get there, I'd have a suitcase full of books. I'd have 3 pairs of board
I'd
shorts.
watch this.
I'd have 3 pairs of board shorts, and the producers would be having to shop for all the ceremonies and all the shit that you did. And then I'd be like, get up, read for 3 hours, do some fucking weights, go for a swim.
They'd film the weights.
Sit and meditate, come back, and I just like try and like avoid everybody's shit and just use it as like a
retreat.
really nice holiday.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone has gone
Yeah,
in.
mate. There's nothing better for the mind and soul than having cameras on you 24/7. I'm sure that'd be very relaxing.
But I mean, it kind of happens now anyway. Like everyone's always filming anything. But
Yeah.
I wonder if someone really went into one of those shows. Hey, if there was a great chick there, sure you'd be open to having a fucking cool
Yeah.
chick and meeting
Come have a
someone.
read. Come
and-
on.
What? I've got
Pull
fucking
up a deck chair. I've got
got
2
8
pairs of board shorts. Put them on. I don't care.
I got 8 books you could choose from. Like, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
But I wonder what that person
Do you like
would
Little
be
Dicky?
like.
I'm him.
I look like him. Dude, the Lil Dicky memes have been out of control lately.
Do people actually say that about you?
Oh, constantly.
Oh, good.
It was.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. It's turning into quite a thing. I feel like maybe we could leverage it. Like, could you imagine Lil Dicky doing the podcast?
Put it this way, I won't be tagging you in these clips.
Why is
You know.
that?
Well, because I did a podcast with Lil Dicky, and that's more clout.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll just,
Yeah.
you could do that for this entire episode. Like, literally.
Like, I went on the Gold
every-
Coast, Lil Dicky was there, we did a podcast.
That's so funny.
Everyone's like, why'd you call him Jace the whole time? Shut the fuck up. You know,
Don't
like,
worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's an inside joke between friends.
You wouldn't get it. You're not on our level.
I think we spoke about it on the podcast.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I don't really know who Lil Dicky is. I know he's like, is he a joke rapper?
Dude.
He was, and now he's like serious. Because I like some of his songs.
No, he's
cool.
really good.
No. But didn't he start off out as like kind of self-aware and?
He was like, it's always, he's
He's a
been
legend.
self-deprecating.
Yes,
So like,
that's
it
it.
was like self-deprecation rap.
Yes.
And like very ironic.
And that was the rap name, right? Because he just openly is like, I have a small penis.
Yeah. Well, he probably has a fucking sword. Like,
Oh,
in all
yeah.
honesty. Like, I feel like he's probably
He
got a
says
bit
that.
of a
I
hog.
listened to a podcast with him because he's friends with Andrew Santino,
Yeah,
who's one of my
yeah,
favorite
yeah,
comedians. So
yeah.
I've listened to a podcast they did once.
Dude, it's so sick. I was there, like, I was in the US forever when he was really like first starting and had a lot of white college friends.
Yeah.
And he started in like the white college rap scene. So I've actually known of him
Right.
for like
And then
pretty much his entire career.
Then he blew up.
And then he blew up. Like we had friends. We had this one trip in Florida where he dropped one of his albums and we just listened to it for the entire film trip. So
That's
like
sick.
actually I'm like a real genuine fan of that.
Yeah,
dude.
he's cool. I liked some of his music. I just didn't get it at first because it was so... He like didn't take himself serious.
Have you listened to any of his like freestyles and shit?
Nah.
Dude,
not
we'll just cut it out of the video. Ronan, find go like Lil Dicky freestyle on YouTube and we'll just cut it out. But I just want to watch this with you.
Yeah.
He's fucking good. He does some insanely good freestyles. Yeah, there you go. Top one there. 5 minutes of just bars, bro. Unmute that shit on the YouTube player. There you go. Hey? Hey? Yeah. Fuck, I do look like him, eh?
Yeah, it's weird. It's the hair, man.
Yeah. And he's
And
got
now,
a beard.
now you got the beard. Is
Definitely got a big Jewish nose too. even
Yeah, you
though
do
like
it
yeah.
like- I love.
Uh.
Why are these all the same?
Fuck. Really look like him.
Yeah, dude, you're killing this.
I am murdering
Get it,
this
Jay.
track right now.
I worked.
And this is like a real freestyle.
Actually,
Yeah. I'm sure he had that line prepped, you know?
yeah. That's what I don't understand about freestyle is like, did they write this before or?
Anti-drug line, yo. Jewish as fuck.
Yeah, okay, that's sick.
I'm gonna story this.
Yeah, man, you shouldn't have given up rap. I don't know why. You were great.
You're really good if you just
Yeah.
stuck at it. Pause that shit.
That's sick.
He's fucking good, huh?
He's real good.
Yeah, and he had that. Have you watched Dave, his Netflix series?
No,
Oh,
I've heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but apparently it's really
yeah, I've
good.
heard good things. Oh, yeah, so we need to talk Dogecoin.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, we didn't go there. So, Ronan, you invested in Dogecoin, right?
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago.
How much did you
Oh.
put in?
Oh, I only put in $15.
Okay, no, but like, what was it
You
worth
just
it
gave
when
him
you did it?
no respect.
That was a bit rude. Alright.
That was the most, like,
Ew.
gross.
I mean, you said
Fuck your poor.
it was not like when I think like investment, you know, like when you say the word investment, I'm like, oh damn, like that's a commitment. Like, like I also like, I invested in some juice this morning, but like it was $6. I didn't know we were calling that an investment. I feel so God, that was so rude. I didn't mean it like that.
He's a young kid
I
trying to get
know.
into the stock market. You're what's wrong with everything, Luke.
Wait till you hear me out. My story's not even impressive anyway. So, yeah. So, how much was it worth when you did it?
2 cents.
2 cents. So
Yeah.
like 0.002 or something.
0.002.
Yeah. Okay. When I did it, yeah, it was like 0.45. So I didn't actually do it. So what happened was, I do a show with Lewis Spears, right? We do a podcast together. Luke and Lewis. Great.
Download it. Great show.
Great show.
Two great blokes.
So such a good show.
Both hot, apparently.
Yeah, one of the hosts.
One of the hosts.
is a schnack.
One
The
of
other
the
one's
one-
quite tall.
One of the hosts is definitely hot. As verified by one female fan.
No, as verified by one of the hosts. So one of the hosts can confirm that one of the hosts is very attractive. But he comes in and goes like, Luke, we don't hate money. I go, of course not. We love money here. We love chasing the bag. And
Paper.
fun.
Paper.
Yeah, exactly. Paper. So that's what we're all about. We're pretty open with our audience that we are happy to reinvest their Patreon money and essentially gamble it on the stock market. and we're quite open with that. And that's one of the sells of our Patreon is like, give us money and we'll reinvest it poorly. So one of the new memes was obviously like this Dogecoin that was happening on Reddit and stuff. And I think what it is like a cryptocurrency that is essentially infinite. It was made as a joke. So the reason why cryptocurrency, I think, is from my understanding, is why it's worth some money is because it's like it's finite. Like
yeah.
Bitcoin is finite, so therefore it's always has a value.
Yeah.
But this person just made as much as he could of this joke Dogecoin, which is why it was worth like 0.002 of a cent or whatever. At the start.
Wow.
It wasn't worth anything. So Lewis comes in and goes, look, I would have loved to, consult you on this, but, it was going up and we had to. So he's like, trying to invest on my ANZ. ANZ don't like cryptocurrency investments. They shut my account.
Oh, really?
And he went to other things. And he's like leading to it. And I was like, oh,
What have you done?
You fucking idiot. And I go, did you do it out of the joint account? Because we have a joint account for the show. And from time to time, some of us like to get our mitts in the joint account without consulting the other person. I've often been known to buy fans kebabs after shows out of the joint account. But he goes, I've put $1,000 of our money, and we're not rich, by the way. I know I came off like a douche before. I honestly couldn't even afford the $15 that you invested. Yeah,
especially after the juice.
I was furious. He's gone. I put $1,000 of the money into Dogecoin, and then 3 days later, Elon Musk tweeted, "No highs, no lows, only Doge," and he tweeted about a couple times in like an hour. He just tweeted the word Doge at one point. It went up 80%, right? And then we were like holding, we're talking. I was like, and then it started to dip, and I could tell the meme was going over, and we sold and got out. I'm pretty sure we like doubled our money.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
that was
yeah,
great.
watch this. I think I got like $80.
Dude, that's it.
I haven't
That's
sold it.
investing.
I haven't sold it yet though.
Oh, really? You should, because it went up way more.
No, it's too late now.
Yeah, true. Now you have to hold. You
Pull
missed
up
the...
I get like $16 now.
Pull
the
up
spike is... You can see the spike
pull
of
up the
where
chart.
he tweets it. If you look up Dogecoin...
The whole stock market thing got a real shake up these last couple of weeks.
Did you talk
didn't it?
about that on the show
No,
already?
I haven't.
Oh, don't talk about it with me. I'm a moron.
Yeah, I don't know that much. Yeah, where's that? Give me a graph. Give me a line.
See that spike there?
So let's
That
go
was when he
1 month.
tweeted. That one. That was when he tweeted.
So what did it go up to?
I thought it went up
It
to
was-
80 something.
No, I got up to 11 cents at one point.
11 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That
But
is
when you own,
still
like-
worth nothing.
Yeah, it's still worth nothing, but because you just
Yeah.
trade in actual money, you own like 22,000 of the stock or whatever when you buy it.
It's bizarre, eh? Because, I don't know. Like, I sort of tried to pay attention to the GameStop thing. My brother's super into stocks. Like, he's actually...
Yeah.
He made a fucking bucket in Afterpay. Afterpay went off in COVID.
Yeah, really?
It was like one of the businesses that really killed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I'm gonna just try to get that AdSense money for a few more months. Let's just see if we can get that rolling in. And
You need
it
money
just
before you
seems-
can start investing.
Just
Well,
need
apparently not, actually.
apprentice wages.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I can get like plenty more burritos now.
Yeah, you could just reinvest, mate. Reinvest the 80.
reinvest.
Yeah,
Go,
that's how you start.
Just gross.
It does. You
Yeah,
know? Pocket
fucking-
money, isn't it what you need?
just play money at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole that whole GameStop thing was hectic.
It's so funny though, investing in garbage, and then we tried to pick because we were like, look,
But you guys made some real money. Like, that's actually like legit.
yeah,
You
which
doubled your
is
money.
not, to be honest, it wasn't very funny because I think he did it because he's like, we'll probably just like lose $500.
We'll be
but
able
it'll
to
be like
we'll
3
be able
weeks.
to ride this. For
Yeah, it'll
like,
be 3 weeks of content, and
Yeah.
that's just like funny, and who cares?
and now you just come off as fucking moguls.
Yeah.
That have way too much money.
Well, and then we started giving out business advice on the podcast, Financial Advisors, because obviously,
did Lewis buy another belt with it?
yeah, another Gucci belt. He was like 8th one.
God bless.
No, what we did was like, all right, we're clearly great at this. Let's predict the future. So we looked at a few penny stocks that have just gone public.
Yeah.
That are just like, they're not worth much now, but we predicted shit that's gonna go off, because that's what happened with GameStop. You know, like obviously that happened for a different reason because of the hedge fund shorting it. But like we were like, what's on the up in modern society?
What'd you pick?
Books.
Hey,
Bookpedia.
Thank you.
Bookpedia, $2.50 a share. I was like,
We're on.
people love books these days.
100%. I'm taking them on Love Island.
Yeah, exactly. What a great ad. And if you take them on Love Island, then people from
Right.
more people from the Gold Coast might start reading. I think you're the only person in the state that knows how to read.
Books are the people's pages. I could tweet something or some weird
Yeah.
fucking crypto shit.
I mean,
like
the
that.
last book I read was Specky McGee.
What? What's that?
It's people in Melbourne would have just came in their pants right then. It's a book co-written by Gary Lyon, the AFL footballer, about a teenage boy who's an orphan, and he goes on a footy journey through a 9-book series, and it's a roller coaster.
You read that?
Yeah, when I was like 10.
Oh, okay. So it's
No,
an old-
actually, I've read a few comedians' biographies since.
Okay.
It's the only books I'm really into.
Really?
I'm a freak. Yeah, I read Kevin Hart's book. That was quite good. Read Adam Hills's book. And yeah, I'm weird. I just don't. I should read more. It's one thing I always joke like, oh, I'm a dumbass. I don't read, but I probably should read more.
I feel like that's literally what everybody says on the topic of books.
Sure. But I want to say is this is not what everyone follows it up with. Is I never will. I have aspirations too, but I don't think that much of myself. That I'm not actually gonna do that.
I'm not gonna fucking do that.
No.
What the fuck would I invest?
Yeah, you were like telling me like today, like, oh, I've changed my life. I did my top 5 things that I love most in the world, and I'm
You're
focusing
like,
on those things.
Nah.
Went to Jace's apartment today, and I was like, you don't have a TV in this room. And he goes, I don't have a TV. And I go, oh, damn, you are like
Living it.
living.
You're really doing it.
So you don't watch Netflix shows, nothing. You don't have a subscription service.
No.
Crazy.
I got
Mate, you
YouTube
missed
Premium.
Mandalorian. It was fucking lit.
You know what? My fucking roommate watched Mandalorian on his iMac 500 times to where I've probably seen it now.
Yeah, okay.
Like it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then he went and watched every Star Wars. Like
Yeah, that's what he did
I've
in
done the
2020.
Star Wars thing. Like
Yeah.
I've been a Star Wars buff forever. So like I was pretty up to date. This Mandalorian.
That's why I'm surprised you missed Mandalorian.
Yeah, but
it
it's
was
just,
good.
Hey, it's just saying it's not on the list.
It was probably the best thing Disney's done with the franchise.
Really?
That and Rogue One.
Fuck, maybe I should
Yeah.
watch it.
Sorry, we're losing people.
No,
No.
we're good. This is what. Hey, fuck them.
Yeah,
We're catching up.
Hey,
We're friends.
hey,
Haven't spoke to you in a while.
if you're listening to this, Chase doesn't give a fuck about you, or really at all. He doesn't care at this point. You know what was cool? I want to talk to you about this. At that corporate gig I did yesterday, I met maybe the richest guy I've ever met before, and it
Really?
was fascinating. He didn't come off as rich at first. We're sitting opposite for like 45 minutes, and I go,
That's how you know someone's legit.
well, he
rich.
said a sentence that I've never heard another human say, and I didn't think you could say, genuinely.
I'm intrigued.
He goes, if you thought I would have scoffed at your $15 investment, get a load of this. Because this guy almost made me spit my drink out. I go, oh, so what do you do, you know, like with yourself? And he was like an older guy, he'd clearly out of the game, but had the vibe of a businessman.
He had big dick energy.
Oh, yeah.
Even into his old age.
Yeah, yeah. That big burly dick he had.
Yeah.
I go, what do you do? And he goes, oh, company sold now. But he goes, now I'm just, and this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. He goes, now we're just acquiring cruise ships. And he used the word ships with a plural. Multiple ships. And then he leaves, and then I go to the other guy, I'm like, how much is a cruise ship worth? And I was like, maybe like 50, 100 million. That's what I was thinking. Because it's like, it's a city on water, maybe 100 million.
Yeah.
I looked it up, Googled it, 555 million
For one ship.
for one ship.
And he used the plural of ship.
Acquiring ships. And then I come back to him later, I go, so your business must have done all right. And he goes, yeah, we did all right. I'm just like,
You know what that is?
oh my God.
That's like someone that's like, they've seen the other side. He's like,
Yeah.
he's died, he's gone to heaven, he's found out that
And
all
he's
the
bored
money...
his way back.
Yeah, he's found out that all the money in the world doesn't matter. So then he comes back to real life, and then someone talks about money, and he just goes, nah.
I'm like, why are you here networking with accountants?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, clearly he has a good one already.
yeah, you seem fine.
Yeah, oh my God, it was crazy.
Dude, I'm going to go to the next one that you come to then, because I got an invite for it, and I just like, I get them for everyone.
Yeah, right.
I'm just like, nah.
No, it's actually pretty fun, you know.
Is it? Well, if Aka's doing handstands, fuck.
Oh, that was the best one I've
They
been to.
didn't put that on the invite.
No.
If
No,
that was
no.
on the invite, that's probably not too many.
I don't think many people knew who he was because, like, not many people up here follow footy
No.
as much as you
No.
know Melbourne and stuff. He's
Yeah.
he's royalty down in Melbourne, but up here he is now a real estate agent, doing some great work. Very nice guy.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm actually no, I won't repeat that on the podcast. Oh, good. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it's funny though, like that guy that you're speaking to, like I've got a couple friends that are pretty fucking wealthy in that business world, like multiple hundreds of millions
that's
of dollars.
crazy.
Yeah, and they are the most like non-giving a fuck about money people ever. And then the
Yeah,
run
because
in,
you don't have to care about money when
it's
you've
over,
already got it.
Yeah, and they're just like, but then they also know, like, you can be rich and sad.
It's like me. I
and
don't
rich
care
and-
about looking hot because I was
You know.
jeans.
You know.
Yeah, was born with it. Don't have to worry about it.
But they
It's been
literally,
24
like,
years of pure bliss.
from here on out.
There's gonna be just a comment on this going, he's fucking ugly and red. He's getting redder. Am I redder now? I am.
Shortly, like the side of your face.
Like
isn't it?
someone blowtorched my head. I think I got burned on one side. I look like a Batman villain. I look like Two-Face. Fuck.
Harvey Specter. Oh no, that's
Harvey
the
Dent.
Harvey Dent. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they've seen so much money, and then they also know that they can be sad with that much money, and they can be
Yeah.
happy with that much money,
you-
and they're like, oh,
You just have to choose if you want to be sad or happy.
pretty much. So they've just seen it all. But the run-in that you had with the guy that was like a multi-fucking, it's like,
No, I did the math. It's actually a good investment.
what's that?
The cruise ship thing.
I bet it would be.
Because I've been on a cruise before. It cost me about $2,500 or something for the week, or like 10 days. And then we were in the lower decks, the shitty ones, like the crap rooms. I'm assuming some people pay 20 grand to be on the
there'd be,
top
like,
deck or whatever.
apartments and
Yeah.
shit.
So I would say the average cost would be like, I worked out like maybe 7 grand each people pay, plus people buy extra drinks and stuff on the cruise. So that's just off the accommodation. If you do the gross of that, like 3,000 people on a ship times 7 grand, that's like 21 million gross, plus all the other money they make. They'd be turning over like 15 million maybe profit a cruise. I have no idea. I'm assuming they're very expensive to run.
That's a little more than $15. That's
What?
all I gotta say. A little more than $15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
You're
so-
not making that.
But if you do the
Dogecoin.
math, like if they're turning over 15, 20 million,
Yeah,
whatever
just
per
constantly,
cruise,
yeah.
you only have to own the boat for a couple of years to make the profit.
Well, you can make profit off planes, and they're expensive as fuck.
But hiring there,
Well, I guess
private
not
and stuff.
really. You can't really make money
By
off
the
planes
way,
anymore.
No, that's not investment advice. I don't actually know how much. I don't think no one took it as serious advice. No one was listening to this going, "Oh, I might get into the cruise ship game now."
Cruise ship game, you say?
Yeah, what were you gonna say about the?
But like, so you've got your, like, that guy you had the run-in with. It's like he claimed money, and it's just like, okay, man. So you, like, that guy there, the cruise ship dude, that's real nice and not a cunt, and like doesn't really even care to tell you how much money he's got. He's actually got money. If you're being a fuckwit telling me how much money
Yes.
you've got, you don't really have it.
Yeah.
Like, you're still chasing this thing.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, it's always the people. It's always the fuckwits in the middle.
Yes,
The guy that's striving.
they're like they've got a little bit of success and good on them. But
They're
it's-
leasing a Porsche.
Yeah.
They got enough money to live in a good apartment.
Everyone here has a nice car. Is it cheaper to? Oh, it's cheaper to live here, so people buy nice cars.
It's probably cheaper to live here.
Yeah, a lot of people drive Mercedes on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
It's very common.
This is Goldie.
But
this
in
is
Melbourne, that's a
Goldiewood.
nice car.
This is Goldiewood.
Yeah,
Like, this is Australia's LA.
yeah, it is.
Right here. That's what's. And then you got, like,
With none of the opportunity and entertainment.
you don't think it's getting better? Look, it's obviously you can't
Oh,
draw
the
it to
comedy
LA.
here is great.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best places in the country. Here in Perth are the best places.
Really? For
here,
comedy?
Perth and Melbourne and Sydney is pretty good, I guess.
I feel like there's a lot of. This is like the influencer place. Like, if you want to be an influencer, then you live here.
There's a beach.
Yeah.
That's already half your content.
The craziest part is how, like, it's so easy to be from here or blowing in for a couple of weeks and be like, oh, every chick looks the same.
That's us. Yeah,
It's fucking
You know why? It's 'cause
literally every chick looks the same.
Yeah, yeah, but it's because of the activewear. People just either wear beachwear or activewear, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
And or if people go to a nice bar, they put on the same
Shit.
white shirt, and the
Yeah.
guys wear the same rolled up fucking chinos and boat
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
And it's everyone's the same. But I don't know. I love the Gold Coast, but God, the people that populate it need some work.
Yeah. It's just everyone. It's just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
Yeah, dude,
copy
even the
paste.
buildings. It's like there was a developer in the 80s that was like, let's just make all the hotels look exactly the same and let's not restore them for 30 years. And then it's still the same shit.
I
It's like
wonder-
SimCity.
It
Just
is,
Someone's
yeah.
copy pasted the same layout all up the coast.
Yeah.
The coastal map on SimCity.
But there's so many chicks that are now, especially through COVID. The amount of chicks I know that move, and I don't know the chicks, but I know of chicks who've moved from Melbourne to the Gold Coast, and then just they're either doing like the OnlyFans thing or they're doing whatever. working on their Instagram. It's all the same shit. Work out at the same places. Coffee at the same places. Like literally every single thing is the fucking same.
But that's you, without the Instagram.
What do you mean?
A year ago, Jace dropped me off at Broad Beach, which is like 5 kilometers up the road, and he goes, "Dude, I haven't been here in a year."
Yeah,
like
that's
you
true.
just hang out in Burleigh.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. But I don't do any of
You
the
go to
Burleigh-
your 3 spots though. You go like, I get my coffee from here, I drive to here, my work, my apartment, and you go between the same
Yeah, that
4
is-
things.
that
and
is
you
true.
Don't leave this little bubble. You do live in a bubble.
I do
but it's
definitely live in a bubble.
It's not like a douche bubble. You know, you just like what you like.
Yeah, but they're just posting the same. Like they're doing literally like the do it for the gram thing. That is like
Yeah.
a full-time job. Like you can move here, get a job at a cafe, and do it for the gram. It's like almost an occupation. Instagramming in the Gold Coast.
Yeah, but do they actually get paid for it?
Probably
it's more
not.
of a hobby.
It'd be a hobby.
It's
Yeah,
a pastime.
yeah. It's like a real.
Yeah.
What would you even call that?
Seeking validation from strangers is what I'd call it.
I would call it. Yeah,
I would
it's-
call it desperate attempts for endorphin. You know, just I want that dopamine hit now when I get the little notification.
Yeah, but there is
It's
like
ding hunting. ding. Just a bunch of bloody ding hunters up here.
But there is like, you can climb, like you can watch people climb the circuit. Like you can see
Yeah.
people that are like going to the parties, like paying to be there, and then you can see them in a few months that they're
getting
getting
in for free.
invited. So there is like a tangible scene that you can climb.
Right, and he's talking a bit of shit here, but just before we dropped in, we go to the coffee shop, and he goes, "Just the usual, thanks." By the way, it was very embarrassing. The girl goes, "Sorry, what's that?"
Shit.
Made my day, and then
She's new.
I started, oh bullshit, and then I go, "Oh, because you got my lunch, which was very kind of you. Pay for my lunch," and I go, "Oh, well, least I can do is pay for your coffee," and then he goes, "Oh no, mate. I actually don't pay here." And I'm like, whoa, must be nice.
Local.
Jesus. Yep.
I'll take it.
And I know he took me to that place for 2 reasons. One, because he didn't want to pay for his coffee.
That is
and
the
two,
first and only
no,
reason.
2, you wanted to be like, "Oh, man, I'm kind of a guy around here."
I'm kind of. I don't pay for
And
my
it was
coffee.
a very Gold Coast cafe.
It was.
White. Great for Instagram.
I was gonna say that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You go there, you take your
It's
Instagram.
like, oh, why the fuck would you eat on a table when you can eat on a barrel? You know, that's the kind of place it was.
It's so fucking true.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, like the LA thing. So
Yeah.
LA has like the pink wall.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes
Have
there.
you seen Lewis's bit from the Pink Wall?
No.
Yeah, he goes there.
Really?
Worth a watch after. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
good.
I'll watch that.
He has a video on YouTube. He convinces people from America that he's like this famous photographer from Australia called Clive Palmer, and he gets this like girl that's like a full-on actual model. Like she was in a Machine Gun Kelly film clip like 3 months later. Like she must be like doing okay in Hollywood. And he does this photo shoot with her, and then like she gets her to like bite an onion. It's very good.
Gets her
Yeah.
to bite an onion.
But it was just like proof that like any people will do anything.
Yes.
In Australia, he's like, oh, one of our politicians, Tony Abbott, is known for eating an onion. It's quite iconic, and we want to show that in this shoot.
That is so
Like he was just
fucking good.
feeding her shit. Like, oh, we want to bring a little bit of Australia to America, and we're trying to combine that in the shoot. And he tucked his shirt in. It was great.
That is
But that is the culture there. It's so easy
Yeah.
to mock. You can literally just get
the
people-
most extreme version of that is Harvey Weinstein.
Sure, like manipulating.
Yeah,
people
like
who
if you
who will
take
do
that-
anything for that
Exactly.
fame and success.
Yeah, that is like the most extreme
That's why it's
version
so.
happens all the
That's
time.
why the whole Me Too movement and stuff that happened. That's why it was so problematic, particularly in Hollywood and California, is because the attitude there is like everyone. Kind of what I was saying before, wants to be a creator.
Yeah.
These days, like everyone's there for the same reason, but there's only limited opportunity.
Yeah.
But everyone has the same goal.
Especially if you're trying to go through, like, I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this before, like the way that you guys,
Did I tell you about that open mic I did at the Improv in Hollywood?
I don't know, maybe.
I went there
Tell me
once
again.
on Thanksgiving Eve, and there was 120 people put their name in a hat for 15 spots available. 15
Yeah,
5-minute spots were
yeah.
available. 120 people came, and I go to this American guy. I'm like, holy shit! Like I put my name in just kind of I
As a
assumed I
joke,
wouldn't
yeah.
get on. I was like,
Yeah.
I just want to see what an open mic's
How
like.
deep in stand up were you here?
This is like 2018, 20.
So you're a
I was
stand-up
like,
comedian, yeah.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah,
comedian.
yeah.
Like I did a gig at the comic strip in New York. I'd
Yeah.
already done a spot in New York. I just hadn't. It's really hard to get up in LA because I don't know
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
So unless you know someone who works at the Laugh Factory, good luck.
Yeah.
And I was there for 4 days, so I wasn't gonna make any connections and
Yeah.
convince someone in 4 days that I was good. But I go there, put my name in the hat, and I go to a guy. Oh, is this always this busy? He goes, no, today's great. Might actually get on. It's Thanksgiving Eve, so it's a bit quiet.
Wow.
And the 120 people were rocking up, and I talked to people at this gig because I just wanted to know why they were there. There was like girls there and guys who their agents have just told them like, do anything. So they didn't want to do stand up. Like, do you want to be a comedian? They're like, fuck no. But I just like
Just do something.
do something.
Yeah.
So they go there and they like do a half-baked stand-up set of like shitty premises, and they don't even want to be a comedian. They just want to be famous.
Yeah.
So they're willing to do anything, including comedy, which is, I would say, for someone who doesn't want to do comedy, a shit thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot
of people's
shit.
worst nightmare. Like, just like
Yeah.
talking in front of strangers and having it not go well.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
but-
like ultimate judgment.
it's just that attitude over there is like, do whatever it takes. It's crazy.
That is fucking crazy.
120 people show up every week to their open mic night just to get rejected.
Yeah, and you are so right. Like they just want to be famous. Like
Yeah.
that is actually.
Half of them want to be a comedian, half of them just want to be famous.
I was thinking about this. I can't remember what we watched or something happened, and I was like, man, did America invent celebrity? Like honestly, there would have been
I don't know.
noteworthy people before that. But you think
Before that, it was like politicians and world leaders were like famous.
yeah, but in terms of celebrity, like losing your shit over somebody, like and I never got it. And I don't know whether this is like sounds like a fucking cunt of a thing to say.
Because back in the day, wouldn't like Einstein have been like
But
Einstein?
even then, no. But like, I just don't even like.
Yeah, walks into a room, Albert. Oh my god.
Albie.
Yeah, the Hollywood fixers there going like, Albert, can you tell us about your new formula? And he's like, sorry guys, can't talk.
But I don't know that like by the time his shit got noteworthy, it's like
Sure, he
it's
was dead,
books,
probably. Yeah.
but like you got to publish a book and then you publish a paper and then it might be in one newspaper.
There's a difference because those people who we know from ages ago, like they went down in history. No one who's famous now will go down in history. They're
No,
just
there's
famous
so
in the present.
many people, yeah.
But
But
some of them can't even keep being famous. Lindsay Lohan. Sorry. Yeah.
but they invented a celebrity culture because you think about it, like even I think it was like I was saying, Sammy, like a couple kids come up to Sammy at the track the other day. I'm like taking photos of it. This was funny. So we're at the track the other day, and this kid comes up. We're riding motocross, and he's like, "Hey man, like love the podcast." He was probably 15, 16 years old, but like,
So just older than Ronan.
but yeah,
Ah, burn. Sick burn. Got him.
got him. But
By the way, can you take back the part of the podcast where you said I was a comedian? After that? Just say he's a guy I met today.
ring in.
Say he's my
Some
friend.
random.
We had someone else, but they cancelled. But yeah, like you could just tell that this kid was like, he was pumped that he could see some people that he would like listen to or watch on YouTube or whatever, but he didn't give a fuck. Like whatever that.
That's Australia, though.
I was gonna say whatever that celebrity thing is that America has.
don't have it.
We just don't have it.
Nope.
So then this kid, he's like, oh, he's going out now, and we were going out to ride, and I was like, yeah. So he had his phone. He like chucked his phone under the van. He's like, I'll come ride with you. So like, all right, sweet. So then we went out, and there's like these two jumps on the track, and you've got to like have a run up to jump them. You can't just like pull on and fucking expect to go over them because they're kind of far. So I've like rolled the first one, rolled the second one. This kid fool is like tries to jump them,
sending
almost
it.
fucking clean, like jumps on the back of me. And then anyway, I didn't even notice. Ride around, pull back into the pits, and he comes in like, oh, Gypsy, I almost fucking killed ya. It's just like, that is why celebrity doesn't exist in
Yeah.
Australia. Like, he knows ya, doesn't give a fuck, almost kills ya,
Yeah.
thinks it's funny. We just do not have whatever it is that
that's like
Americans have.
When I used to work at the radio station, it's like people would come in and it'd just be like, who's in today for like the drive show? And it'd be like, Sophie Monk's there. And I was like, the Bachelorette.
Sick.
I'm not worthy. She just seems like a legend, but
Yeah.
that's why no one cares, because she's down to earth.
Yeah,
And like, that's the whole
yeah.
thing. It's like, there's just a real vibe. Like, we have a segment on Luke and Lewis called Celeb Spots. And the joke is like, kind of just like, no one gives a fuck. So we rate a celeb spot via three different, there's three different parts to a good celeb spot. There's how much of a celebrity the celeb is. So, if it's an A grader, obviously great. But we love a C-lister. C-listers tickle
That's
us
the
a little
sweet
more.
spot,
Yeah. It's the location of the celeb and also what they were doing at the time. Is
Yeah.
how we grade our celeb spots.
Yeah.
Like, there's crackers. Just like, I saw Timo-matic, at a petrol station buying this. And it's like, oh, I didn't know he'd be into that. Like, those are the best ones, because clearly the person who's sending us the email, they didn't go say hi. They're just going, oh, I saw Timo-matic buying some Fruit Loops from a servo, and we're like, fuck, I wonder if he's okay. Maybe someone should call him.
Pretty good tip.
That seems
See
like,
if you're listening.
yeah, geez, Australia's got talent. It's a slippery slope to the servo.
But yeah, people in Australia, we just don't have that thing.
But that's the best.
It is
Isn't
the
that the
best.
best though? Because it's like isn't like one of the Hemsworths like building or Liam or something. Chris is building a house on Byron
Yeah,
Bay.
it's fucking out of control.
Yeah, because I comes here and no one will care. Probably
Yeah.
goes to the cafe and they go, "Well, Thor came back today. That's cool."
Where's your hammer?
Yeah, but like he'd get a bit of that. Obviously, like photos and stuff. He would get that, but not to the point where American people would lose their minds
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
saw Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like if I saw him, I'd be like, "Oh, that's Chris Hemsworth."
Yeah.
Oh, I'll write that down. I'll talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
celeb spots.
Yeah.
I'll write down what he's doing and where he was. And then,
Chris Hemsworth, maybe a vegan.
yeah, exactly. And that's a scoop.
Yeah. Byron, vegan cafe.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, celeb spot.
Yeah.
His fucking new place is out of control. Apparently.
Someone told me that it was just
Can you see if you
essentially
can find that
building
on-
like a
it's a
shopping
fucking
center complex.
Palace.
Yeah, not even a mansion. It's a complex.
It's a palace. Yeah. Yeah. He
A
has a
palace.
compound.
yeah, it's going to be one of the wonders of the world soon.
Yeah.
It's the Taj Mahal.
Nah,
in
go
Byron
to
Bay.
Byron Bay. House Byron Bay.
Oh, was he staying in Mermaid Beach? Oh, that's where I stayed last night doing a flex.
Nah, get rid of.
Although he didn't stay.
Nah, get
the,
rid of Gold Coast House and just go Byron Bay.
Was that the one in Mermaid Beach?
Jesus. Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, there you go. Fucking
I stayed in
hell.
the motel last night.
That
Wasn't as
is that is a house.
That's like a proper American celebrity house. That for the audio listeners, he's got a
Describe
pool,
it.
a pool on the second story, like on the, or is it the third story?
Yeah, fuck.
The second story pool, and it's a lap pool, obviously with a spa, and then there's various roof areas where you can relax on the roof, like with deck chairs and stuff, and it's surrounded by trees and forest. So it's private, huge, and it looks like one of those henchmen complexes. Like if you saw a bloke with a gun standing on each corner in a Hollywood film,
Yeah.
and then they get sniped off the edge. It's one of those houses. Like
That's like John Wick 3.
Yes.
Like what he gets at the end, like retires in
it's the
Costa
villain
Rica.
of
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Wick 3.
He kills the villain
and then takes
just
his
stays
house.
in the pad.
Yeah.
Moves in his dog and his car. That's where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some Pablo Escobar shit.
Yeah, who would have thought that being one of the lead roles in the biggest ever film franchise was profitable?
Dude, I don't want to watch those.
They're so good.
Are they?
I was so anti-Marvel.
Really?
I was like, I don't care. The hype. I think I hated the hype at the time.
Yeah.
The nerds talking about like, oh, Endgame. And I was like, oh, shut up. It's like, I just wanted to be like, it's not real. You know? People are out there going like, why the fuck did Captain America do this? I'm like, because someone told him to.
It's on a script that he
Because-
didn't write.
Yeah. Because
He's also not a real person.
yeah, we're saying like Chris Evans made the decision. But they're great. I watched them
Is this it?
all in.
This is Zac Efron's house in Byron.
Oh, yeah. So Zach, hey, that's like a little sneaky goal. Get Zac Efron on the podcast. He's fucking been here for ages.
Yeah, I mean, I heard he doesn't even take photos with some people, but that could be a myth. But again, like
He is a myth. Have a look at how hot that cunt is. Like, you think you're good looking? He's good looking as well.
on par.
You think it's very similar?
Very, similar characteristics. Hunky. He's a little more tanned. His jawline's slightly more chiseled.
Not in a couple days.
Yes.
I think your tan is really going to come in strong.
Yeah.
This left side of your face is red.
Yeah. I don't think I get cast in High School Musical right now. But only right now.
I don't know, with those pipes.
He didn't even sing in the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't watch
He was
that
not
either.
soaring or flying.
Yeah, he's like full doing the Aussie thing, eh? He's
Yeah.
loving it.
I just realized when I quoted a High School Musical then that I'm not this podcast vibe. I don't think, am I the first person ever in this studio
Yes,
to
100%.
quote High School Musical? And the last, very
But
good.
that's why you're here. I like that about you.
You're like, man, we have to have some episodes, Bomb. We can't just be crushing it all the time. All right. I'm here for, also, this is to get your YouTube up, you know. I'm here for my looks.
This is a real visual podcast,
yeah,
guys.
that's why we film ours.
Clip the audio on
Yeah.
this one. Yeah, Zac Efron, fucking doing big things. But yeah, we definitely don't have the celebrity thing, and maybe that's why Zac Efron likes being here.
The reason why these people come here is because like there isn't, it's not a thing here, and also like we don't give a we're talking about it, so maybe we do give a shit. But like in general, like if I was like to all my friends, like, oh, I saw Zac Efron today, they're like, oh, whereabouts? And I'd tell them in person, they'd be like, cool.
Sick.
And I'm like, all right, so who's like they just move
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Like it just
yeah.
wouldn't even be worth even bringing up. The story wouldn't hit very hard. In the group.
America, it's just like it would
Oh
be
my god, really?
hectic.
What was he wearing?
And the crazy thing with America too, so I was at Sammy's and he had the Tiger Woods thing playing. Have you hear about the HBO thing with Tiger Woods? Wasn't very good for what I saw.
No,
Which I was quite
was
disappointed.
it a documentary?
Yeah,
about
it's
it?
like a doco, like a Last Dance type of thing, but on
Right.
Tiger Woods. And the Augusta, his first Masters appearance,
Yeah.
the Nike had just run like I've been into golf forever, but I didn't really realize the complete storyline of like how things kind of laid out.
Yeah.
But he signed this huge deal with Nike. Then he went to right before Augusta for the Masters. They run this campaign that was like very racial in terms of like we need to make golf inclusive. So they really actively played the race card. Never happened before. Golf, whitest sport ever.
Yeah.
The Masters is built on a plantation. So like it's an ex-plantation
Right.
ground. So there was a lot of storylines here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tiger Woods steps out on the first tee with just like bulk security. Full on like the Beatles got off a jet in the 60s. And it was just like once you've reached that level, like
Yeah.
once you've done that one time, his life was just like that. It's like that the culture there can support that.
Yeah.
As soon as like there's just in that one moment there's so much social proof of like the myth of Tiger Woods that it just never changed. And still to this day, when I've watched him play golf and been at an event and you just can't get fucking near it. Like you can't even be
You can't even look at him.
you can't even be in the vicinity of the dude.
Yeah.
And there's just crowds that move.
You like try and peep over and someone's like, turn around. Turn around.
No, you weren't here. You haven't been here for 37 hours.
You're not worthy.
You needed to be here last week
Yeah.
just to look at him.
Fuck that.
But
yeah.
that's what their culture's like. Once you get to that level, that's pretty. Unless you're Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. And in that case, you come to Australia and you're a judge on The Masked Singer, which you wouldn't know about, but
What's
saw on a
that?
billboard. It's a show that, dude, free to air. I was gonna say trying their best. No, they're not.
Do
They're
more.
not trying at all.
You've let go. You've let yourself
The
go.
newest show on free to air TV. I watched it because I wanted to do a YouTube video on it, reviewing it. It was Holy Moly. It's a show on Channel 7. It's mini golf on TV. Laser tags next, and that I'm keen for. But at what point are you just broadcasting party games now? Like, oh, are we gonna do pin the tail on the donkey next? Pass the parcel. Will be on TV soon. At this point, they're going to start just running a fucking Wii golf tournament and broadcasting it. They're like 2 weeks away from doing that shit.
September 2021. Duck Duck Goose.
I'd watch it. That's when I'd start tuning in again. I think that'd get some eyes. If like you're going like, oh my god, Grant Denyer and Sonia Kruger are hosting Duck Duck Goose, and it's like on billboards, who's gonna be the goose?
You just see Grant Denyer in the corner. Duck. Duck. And then you've got some like,
and then Koshi just fucking chases him around a circle of other
Nah,
B-listers.
it's all of the like Ninja Warrior dropouts that are like super jacked. It's like this super jacked ex.
It's all the people we've met in that like VIP tent.
Everyone that we've ripped on
dressed
before,
as a duck.
playing Duck Duck Goose.
Dude, it was literally mini golf.
Wow.
And the one of my favorite parts of the show was the whole thing was like, just to put Greg Norman's face on the billboard, they go, Greg Norman designed this course. Once you see the course, Greg Norman didn't know this show was happening. I don't think.
Greg Norman.
I mean, I don't even. He's old. Like, why would he design a mini golf course for Australian TV? There was a hole called Uranus, and they milked it. Oh, the ball's going up Uranus right now, and like the commentator's like, but also I was watching it going. I was like, this is on the telly.
It's only 7.
Like, this is crazy. Dude, it was wild. Yeah.
That is, we've really regressed.
And then they got Ian Dicko Dixon. Do you remember him?
Hey,
From
Saturday?
Australian Idol.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Well, maybe he was on Hey It's Saturday. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. But yeah, like he was dressed as a pirate, like literally dressed as Captain Feathersword on the show, like chipping balls over for the contestants or something. And then he goes down the barrel of the camera wearing an eye patch and holding a sword. And he just goes, my TV career has not panned out how I thought it would. And I think it was like Channel 7's attempt to be like self-aware and like, oh, this show's a bit of a joke and it's a bit of fun, which was actually good. They're kind of coming a little self-aware of like, oh, we get it's stupid, but we're doing it anyway.
What's those meetings like?
When someone goes, I've got it.
Yeah, to approve that. Like, is it as sad as I'm imagining it?
Yeah, like they go, you guys play golf, yeah? And all the Channel 7 executives are like, of course, every weekend.
I'm playing off 6.
Yeah. How do you think we met? It was on the 7th hole of a golf course. Okay, like, right. Imagine that, but on a smaller scale. And then we'll add in a windmill. And someone was like... And then someone went, wait. Isn't that already a thing? And they go, yes, but we're going to film it. And everyone was like... That is a show. We're going to put $1 million into this.
It would take some serious cash.
I don't know how much those shows.
But in terms of like,
shoot,
all right,
but it would be. Yes, it was.
What it costs
expensive.
to run this podcast, right?
Yeah,
it would cost more than that to put on that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like you're still spending some money to make those kind of dog shit shows happen.
I don't. Yeah, their advertisers must pay a lot of money to be on TV because I knew like the kind of cash that some kind of companies were paying to be on radio back in the day. Like I'm pretty sure like Lexus and stuff were definitely paying like, you know, I'm not sure how long these contracts were, but like $1 million contracts a year and stuff to be advertised on Triple M and whatever, you know, all around the country. But TV must pay. They must pay more. I don't know if you're an advertiser why you'd pay for that because everyone flicks around in the ads and watches what else is on the other channel. Same with radio. Everyone just goes, oh, ad. I'll flick to see if the other station has a song on.
You know what I don't understand as well while we're talking about TV? Why are there ads on Austar if you pay for Austar or like Foxtel?
Oh, do people still pay for Foxtel?
Yeah, my parents
maybe
have
for
Foxtel.
live sport.
Yeah, that's
live sport is the only thing TV has a purpose for now.
Yeah.
Is the live element.
Yeah.
But now that KO and stuff exist, like, why would you know? Like, I know people. I didn't have my antenna plugged in for the first 6 months of moving out, and I didn't realize. So one day I went to watch TV. I was like trying to watch the Australian Open, like the final. Only time I went to watch, I was like, oh, that'd be on TV, right? And Meg's like, I guess so. And I'm like, and I felt dumb. I was sitting there and I didn't want to say anything for like 2 minutes, and I couldn't work out how to put it on the free to air because I was like, not on Netflix. I was like, I'm pressing the remote, I'm pressing like TV, and I'm like, Meg, how do you get Channel 7 to work? I sounded like a fucking boomer. I was like,
you literally said that like my dad.
But my dad would have been like, oh, easy, mate. That's the only thing I know how to do. Like, he'd be like, boom. But I just couldn't get it to work. And then Meg goes, my girlfriend's like, we need an antenna. And I go, really? For TV? She goes, how do you think it works? I'm like, I don't know. I just turn it on. It's always there. I'm like, it makes sense when you say it. But she goes, yeah, you need to buy a cord from like JB Hi-Fi. I don't think I ever bought the cord. I don't think I have it still.
Really? So
I
you
don't
never
know.
ended up plugging it in?
Oh no, I did because I went to its grand final, AFL. Yeah,
Which was in Queensland.
maybe I think I watched that on KO though, so I bought the call for no reason.
Yeah, dude, I've done like full year not watching anything. Haven't.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's been great. I haven't missed it at all.
You don't. Were you into you were into pop culture and like
Yeah, I used
movies? Do you watch movies?
to. No.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I just haven't. I just been doing other shit essentially. So it's like it's been quite rare that I've actually like wanted. No, you know what I did watch? I
You
watched.
don't play video games?
No, I watched fucking the new Borat.
Oh, that was great.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
Like to know that those people are real.
Yes.
So real and so common.
And a lot of Americans, and you have like a lot of Americans that listen to this podcast. Lots of people will be so angry right now because they hated it because they hate when a foreigner comes into their country and makes fun of it.
He just like
Many comedians I listen to had this take on their podcast and stuff, going like, "Who the fuck does he think he is coming to our country and mocking us?"
Really, like American comedians took that stance.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That's surprising.
Lots of them. Yeah,
Like who?
like comedians that I like Andrew Schultz, who's been in our
Really?
podcast. He came out and said
I like
that
Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, he's great. I got to open for him when he was in
Yeah, I
in
remember
Melbourne.
that.
Really nice guy. Yeah, I was watching his take on that, and I just thought it was interesting because he's like and it's like a very and obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion or whatever. And also, I think Australians' attitude on it is like, we make fun of everyone here.
Yeah.
Like, if an American came here and made fun of our culture, we'd be like, oh, true, we do
Yeah,
that. We're a
you're
bit
right,
fucking
fuck.
shit. Yeah. And like, even if they made fun of actual things that are wrong with our culture, like, racism, blah, whatever, there's obviously problems here that happen as well.
Yeah.
And if an American came in and made a movie about us, I guess people would be a little bit upset about it here, but I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, that was spot on.
Yeah,
They've just
bang
pointed
on.
out
Yeah.
the truth and in a really obvious and a good comedic way. But yeah, I guess Americans are very like, America.
Yeah.
They're like, we can make fun of us, but not you.
Nobody else.
Was the take of
They're
a lot
like
of people.
it's like when you bash your little
'Cause
brother.
he's from the UK, isn't he? Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he's not from there.
No.
He's come in there. What he's done is very cleverly manipulated a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people take that the wrong way. A lot of people don't like him.
He went to the lowest common denominator.
Sure, which is
But
what
the
he...
problem is like that's a fucking majority there. Like,
is that fair?
well,
Maybe in some states.
if
but
you look at numbers, yeah. Like if you go, like there's states where like, because man, the wealth gap, like the disparity of wealth in America is fucking heavy. Like honestly, you go through, and this will suck to American people, but like I've driven across the country in 3 different routes.
most logical Americans agree, and a lot of
I would hope
Americans
so.
are ashamed of how their country's going
And
at
hey,
the moment.
I'm ashamed of some shit that goes on in Australia
Of
at the
course.
moment as well. So this isn't like coming from a place of
Yeah.
fucking perfection.
Yeah, fuck you dogs. No.
We're fucking perfect. But like you drive through America and there's some places where, like I remember Burbank, we used to hire, whenever we did like big cinema shoots, we used to hire through these companies in Burbank, like fucking Able Cine and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Go in Burbank, full Hollywood, you got Disney Studios, it's like Hollywood right there. And then we'd drive like our Google Maps to take us back to Temecula. The whole like wrong side of the tracks thing, it was from that spot where we were. It was like Disney, rich as fuck. We just rented a $200,000 camera. Everything is sick. Set of train tracks. Third world country.
Yeah, like just tent cities.
Yeah, like just insane.
I'm
man.
an idiot, and I walked through a bunch of areas like that, and realizing as I was in there, perhaps I shouldn't be walking here by myself.
It's actually heavy.
Yeah.
And then like if you've ever been to Compton, gnarly.
never went there.
Yeah, that's like all the music.
Yeah, right. That's why.
That's another thing. Like, there's I guess a different topic, but the people that are in America, it was one of the kind of like frustrating things. Like, I'd have really in the end, I just give up, and now I just don't care. It's one of the reasons I don't care because
Do you even read the news?
No, not really anymore. I'll do a few little things here.
Don't
and
you
there.
have to like be up to date? No,
Nah.
just with
Just-
MotoGP.
Yeah, I just talk to people, listen to what they say about shit. I guess.
Don't
But-
listen to me. I'm a fucking idiot. And,
That's why I was excited for you to be here.
and that goes to everyone listening. Anything I've said, Probably not true.
But
Or accurate. Except, no, that guy did shit himself last night. That was bang on. that guy
happened.
did a poo in his pants and he was 40. That's way too old to be doing that.
That is-
Because he's not 2.
But you haven't been drunk until you shit yourself.
No.
So he's just ticked the box. But yeah, you talk to people in America about that like you'd have people that'd say like, oh, fucking gangster rap this. I'm like, they're literally rapping about where they live.
Their reality.
Like that's real for them. Like to you, it's like a character of like this Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg. But it's like all of those people are like actual real people. They're singing about real shit that really goes down. And then I think that when you see a lot of the like the Black Lives Matter stuff that goes on and there's like the pushback against it, and it's like it's real. Like what they're you don't get all of those people doing all of those things in a group if they're not kind of on the same page. Like something's actually going on here that is like warranting this reaction from people.
Yeah.
Like you just can't deny it. And I think it's the same with like that Borat effect, you know? And it's like essentially what he did with that movie was like come to America with like a really big mirror and just like hold it up. It was just like, look at you fuckwits.
And that's why a lot of Americans fucking
And
hate
everyone
it.
was just like,
Yeah.
it just looked like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, it's gnarly, man.
The girl in that was so great.
She was
She's
unreal.
phenomenal. That some of those like bits, like I just like the dumb bits as well. Like I enjoy the clever political commentary and the social commentary and pointing out what's wrong with America. But some of my favorite bits are just like him walking into the TV store and then just putting porn on all the TVs and filming the shop assistants. Like it's not high art, but it is funny. Like at the end of the day, watching some guy react to hardcore porn in his shop
On airplay,
just like them going like, oh my god, and then Borat going like, all right, I'm done. Like, and then just comes out with these, you know.
He is so good.
Yeah.
Like to pull that shit off. The
amount of producing work that goes into that. Like apparently he stayed with those 2 guys in that hut or something for like weeks, and they only got like 5 minutes out of it for the movie.
Really?
Yeah, because he needed them to trust him to take him to the gun rally thing.
Yeah.
He got these guys to like trust him. That's why a lot of people don't like it, is because it's very manipulative.
It is quite
and it is
manipulative.
taking advantage of people who are easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Which is why I see the arguments both ways of like some of the... Look, at the end of the day, the end result I thought was fucking great. Maybe the way he went about it probably wasn't the most ethical or morally correct way.
Yeah, but you couldn't make it any
you
other
couldn't
way.
do any other way. So I just respect it because I'm like, I wouldn't do that. And I respect, especially because it's comedy, I respect it when people do shit that no one else has ever done before. That's why people love Chris Lilly. It's because he made a bunch of shows that no one had ever made before. Like, he's just like, it was similar, like playing, you know, he's not the first person to play multiple characters, but, you know, him...
That was like holding a mirror up to Australian culture that was like kind of like a fucking weird...
Some of those Angry Boys had like a real deep message at the end. And sometimes the story wasn't as funny and it got deep with like...
Got real.
Yeah, it got real. Like, that's why it is successful, because he did something different. And I think Sacha Baron Cohen he's just doing something different. And whenever you do something different, people...
And the Rudy Giuliani bit was heavy.
Was that the bit at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking creepy.
That was super fucking... So how would you describe that for people listening that haven't seen the movie?
So is this the bit where she goes
The
up?
interview bit,
The interview bit.
Yeah.
So she's... The girl who stars in it with Sacha Baron Cohen, she is like dressed up to be... quite attractive and stuff, and she's interviewing him in a hotel room.
And he's the ex-mayor of New York.
He's
and
like
one of Donald Trump's lawyers.
And I'm assuming one of Donald Trump's friends.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this was
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
when
yeah.
Trump
Yeah.
was president.
Yeah.
And it just kind of shows you like the circles that these dudes hang out in.
Yeah.
And this was like after the Epstein stuff had happened. So this was like
Epstein also
after
didn't
Me
kill
Too had
himself.
happened. Yes. This is after the Me Too stuff had happened. So this guy's like knows the climate we live in.
Yeah.
And even if people like that have done some really shady, gross shit in the past, you would think that after all that stuff went down to people they knew personally,
Yeah.
you'd think that would be the wake-up call they needed to stop being gigantic pieces of shit. Right? You would think.
Yeah.
Like, that's enough to be like, oh, yeah, you can't just do that because
Yeah.
you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
You have to have a soul. Oh, that's weird. But what happens is, like, the interview escalates and he's touching her quite inappropriately during the interview, like, oh, it's okay, calm down, I get you nervous, and he's putting his hand on her knee, and it's a bit creepy, like, and that's
He's
the
an
point.
old guy.
He's an old seedy guy. She's like a very young girl.
Pull up a picture of
blonde,
Rudy Giuliani.
blonde, quite attractive, and she's
there you
acting
go. Mayor- former
and by the
mayor.
way, she knows what she's doing. She's trying to like kind of show that like this guy's garbage.
Yeah, this is a...
This dude is like, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be old one day, so I'm not going to rip on his appearance in any way, shape, or form.
Sure.
I'll be there at some point. But point of the photo is he's an elderly man.
Yeah.
And if you think I read books now, when I'm this age, that's probably all I'm going to do.
Yeah, he looks like the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond if
Yes.
he ate Raymond. And Rob, the brother.
So yeah, this to paint the picture. So there's a young girl in this interview with him.
Yep, and then by the way, I've only watched this once, so this is like me calling back a thing I vaguely remember. But from memory, he's touching her a little bit inappropriately, and then he invites her into another room or something.
Yeah.
And they've got cameras ready to go, assuming that he would, right? Because there was cameras in the other room.
Well,
and then
or-
he gets down the bed and looks like, but it's not, because Sacha Baron Cohen runs in to stop it.
Yeah.
As the character. Like, what are you doing? Like, she's just a girl, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But he looks like he looks like he's about to undo his pants, and that's where they stopped it.
To his defense, the way
it's shot is way worse.
Well, I
Like,
think too,
apparently,
he was
so
wearing a microphone
So
that was
people thought-
under his shirt. So like to get that off, you'd have to like the cord runs all the way down,
Okay,
and then the
so he
microphone's
was like
in your pocket.
going, if this situation's going to escalate, I'll have to take my microphone off. Do you reckon that's what he was
Well,
thinking?
or just to play complete devil's advocate, he was in the room taking his microphone off. That requires like unbuttoning
Yes.
shit, and you can't just pull
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out. So in
Yeah.
his defense, like that could have
Yes.
been what happened. But
that's what I think he did argue.
But like
as
you,
well.
but like you just said, in this climate, why are you unbuttoning your pants with a young girl in the room
Yeah.
while you've just been creepy as fuck during this whole?
Yeah, and
interview?
he was very creepy in the interview.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
situation was escalating.
It was
Like
heading
throughout,
that
and that's
dir-
obviously
yeah.
that was the point of the sketch, or what do you call it, the situation.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to prove. They were trying to make this guy look like a creep.
But I wonder, like,
But they did a good job. He looked like a...
well, I think he just did a great job for him. Like, you
Yeah.
know, I guess you say lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Well,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
Lead a horse to water, and he will pull out his dick.
Yeah, his dick
fuck
will
the
get
water.
hard. But that's like,
No matter how old the water is.
but he really, it didn't look
Yeah.
good at all.
No,
Like,
it
he
didn't look
really
good.
played.
So is he a lawyer? Why was he speaking? Like, I don't even know who he is. Like, that's the thing. This is
He
how
used
little
to
I
be
know
the-
about this shit.
He used to be the mayor of New York.
Oh, right.
I'm
So
pretty
he's just,
sure that he's
really
like
rich.
kind of renowned. Well, there's like a lot of mob tie stuff that goes on because obviously like all of construction is like run by the mob in New York still essentially, and like that's where all the Donald Trump is in with like the mafia and shit. Like you just got to be, if you've got any position of power in the US, you've got to be a pretty heavy dude. Like you would have had to do some heavy shit, unless I think it's different if you're in like the tech world. But then there's
Yeah,
some
'cause
like
that's, like, new
weird
money.
That's like new money,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you're like the mayor of New York,
Old money's like
yeah, you're in a
evil.
weird place,
Yeah.
and you're probably not that far removed from like plantations and shit like that. You know, like there's a lot of oil, and then you start to get into like Iraq and fucking. There's weird shit if you're that old, that rich, and doing that job.
Yeah. But great flick by Sacha.
But great
Good
flick.
movie.
So that's the only movie I watched last year.
Yeah, right. That was a good movie to watch.
picked
One
a-
of
I
the
picked a
better
good
ones
one,
I
yeah.
watched last
I
year.
feel like-
so how was your 2020? Like, we haven't caught up for like a year. What did you do? Just this podcast, like working hard as fuck.
I just did this podcast. Because I did my shoulder in Feb,
Yeah, so just recover.
and then I did my hip in July.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just stretched, did like heaps of yoga, did a lot of meditation. I read like 30 something
That's what
books.
I follow your podcast like through Instagram and stuff. A lot of people just come on here and like talk about what injuries they've had because they're all like motor riders. I actually cut my finger the other day, guys. It's a little graze. Pull up to the camera. And I thought that I did a hairline fracture in my pinky 2 days ago, but it's completely fine now, so it's not.
World Gym ain't
Definitely
no
just
joke.
definitely just jarred it filming a dumb video, and I dived on the ground and I was like, I think I'm gonna die, and now I'm like, guys, it's all good.
The World Gym is no joke.
Yeah.
What can your thumbnail be? Give me a quote for your thumbnail for your injury.
For this.
Yeah.
Like a thumbnail. It's like a good
Yeah, like
thing.
a quote. Yeah, I want a thumbnail quote.
I thought I was going to die. Oh no.
No, we've already done that one.
Yeah, but that worked the first
No,
time.
you know what it needs to be?
And then instead of the guy falling off the 40-foot ramp, you just put me going, ow, my fingy. My finger hurts.
No, you know what yours is? You know the classic fucking line that everyone says, like, oh, mate, if it was a mil deeper, they reckon it would have hit an artery.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the oldest fucking...
I swear to God, man, it was so close.
Doctors said 1 more mil
Yeah.
would have hit an artery.
I would have bled out.
I would have bled out then and there. 100%. That's like literally everyone has that
Yeah.
story. But I guess it makes sense though, because if it did hit the artery and you died, you'd never be able to not say.
Sure. I mean, if I fucking, oh man, I swear to God, if I had to smash this candle over my head, I probably would have got a concussion. But I didn't. I didn't do that because,
Hey, there's a helmet there.
yeah, you got a lot of helmets in here.
Yeah, well, that one's stolen. That's a thing. But the guy that I stole it off was in here.
Should you incriminate yourself on a podcast?
I've already told, like, he
Oh.
knows. And he was here the other day and he didn't take it. But he complains on social media that I stole his helmet.
Right, but doesn't want it back.
It's not really stolen, it's just here.
Yeah, I mean, I left a jumper here last time. It was a year ago. Jace just
You've had a good day with that. That's been a good thing.
I know. Jace comes. Dude, I'm really sunburned. It's starting to hurt. You know when the sunburn like controls your brain, like where it's like the UV seeps into your fucking like frontal lobe. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just.
You're getting chemo.
I think
right
I'm
now.
melting. I think I'm like I think I got radiation poisoning.
Yeah, you're getting chemo essentially.
Yes. I don't know if it's from the lights or, but it's bad news up here anyway.
Struggling.
But are you a well gym man?
Nah, just
jiu-jitsu.
Just a jiu-jitsu gym.
So
yeah.
just grappling.
Sweaty
other
ass man.
Sweaty ass man.
Yeah,
That's hot.
it's fucking painful.
I can't believe you pretend like that's not fucking sexy. You're out here pretending like you're like, yeah, man, I do jiu-jitsu, so I wouldn't fuck with me.
dude. You know the funniest part, or I don't know. It's fucking awesome. I get zero respect for
And-
like jiu-jitsu. Like
course.
literally no. They're like, cool man, don't talk about jiu-jitsu on the podcast, please. Can you go ride your bike?
Yeah, what's
Film-
considered a cool martial art then, like UFC?
Yeah.
Karate's not. Karate, like Hugh Danielson, grow up. What are you doing?
Wax off?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Get the fuck out of town with that shit.
Yeah, that's so
Go
good.
get your chopsticks and catch flies somewhere else, pal. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's the level of respect
Yeah.
within the Gypsy gang for my jiu-jitsu. No one cares.
What? You know what?
I train,
It's not like you were showing me videos in the car. You're like, dude, how good's this? And I was like, you
not
are
impressive.
humping a dude. I'm like, that's cool.
it's one of those things.
It's 2021. Go for it. It's legal now. You can hump a dude for life. Put a ring on that dude now, and that's fucking awesome. I'm all for humping dudes.
Woke.
Woke. I'm a woke. Yeah, I'm from Melbourne, guys. Like we just hump dudes for fun. Straight dudes just hump guys to get
It's
to be
kinda,
accepted there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just
Yeah,
like a kind of a rite of passage.
Yeah,
now.
it's like hazing to get into the CBD. You have to fuck a dude on Hoddle Street.
you have to make.
Yeah,
you have to
in order to get through Fitzroy, you have to like fuck a man.
you have to take a dick and be unfazed.
Yeah. And
Like
you,
it can't reflect on your sexuality.
you have
That's
to
the
take
level
a
we've
dick
got
and then
to
be
get
like,
to.
just shrug up.
It's not gay.
Yeah, shrug it off. It's fine. So yeah, when you show me you like doing jiu-jitsu with another guy, I wasn't impressed. Like it's you. I don't know if you guys were doing this as a joke, but it's a lot of like
I
mouth
was doing that
grappling.
I was doing that as a joke.
Okay.
I was like smothering.
But then
his
he
face.
had his mouth. Are you allowed to touch their face in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
You just allowed to like, you're not allowed to like grab their mouth.
No, the fish hooking and stuff would probably be a bit frowned
But you're just
upon.
allowed to like grab their face.
Yeah.
Oh, if someone grabbed my face, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the point. And then while they're like putting their arms to try and get you off, then you just like go that way, you know.
How quickly do you reckon you could beat me? Within 1 second?
We're gonna try it right here.
Do we have enough space?
Nah. It'd be seconds. And that's just not
second.
seconds.
I think.
Nah. Well, take like you've got to get from here to there to like you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you can catch me.
Yeah.
It might take you ages. I'm a really good runner.
Yeah, you would probably outrun me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's how a jiu-jitsu match would go. And it'd end up, it'd become a marathon.
Did you beat Jace? Yeah, by 300 meters.
Yeah, and then he gave up.
Fuck it.
Yeah, so because I went too close to Broad Beach. He's like, no, I'm not in Burley anymore. I've hit the perimeter. Of
I don't get free coffee here.
Yeah, fuck this.
But yeah, I get absolutely zero respect. And I train like real hard, work real hard.
Why is that? Why is it? Is it generally a not well respected martial art?
It's probably,
or is it you're just fans, just assholes?
Yeah, they just don't give a fuck. It's awesome. Yeah. To even like call them fans, they'd be like, I'm not a fucking fan. I just listen to the Cunts podcast.
Yeah. Do they get impressed by anything you do?
Not really.
Why are they listening? Why are you right now listening?
For other people.
Right. If you don't know who I am and are still listening to this, I want to know why. Like, because you're here for Jace, but you hate him. So make up your fucking mind.
Maybe there's just not a lot else to do. But yeah, so it's kind of funny. But the funniest part is that I try to be so good at it. Like, so much of my mental equity is spent on jiu-jitsu. And it's just the most laughable. Like, people just...
It sounds funny, man.
Yeah. But like, I was fucking taking a shit the other day, and the shit was over, like, within standard shitting time. And I just sat there. At one point, I was like, I'll just close my eyes. And I was just thinking about jiu-jitsu, like, in my head. And I just stayed on the toilet for, like, an extra 10 minutes with my eyes closed thinking about it.
Just thinking about grapples and
thinking about what I was going to do.
Take out your opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a guy that beats me, and I knew that I'd be fighting him later in the day.
Hey, Jace. You need to get a TV. Your life sucks, man. Just like, man, I'm sitting there with shit on my asshole, just with my pants down, thinking about jiu-jitsu, and then have the audacity to come on a podcast and go, I don't know why people don't respect it.
I'm really solving my own thing here.
It's crazy that people have no respect for me. I mean, I mainly just think about when I poop.
When you say it like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, though, to be honest.
I know you do. No, but I get that with running. Like, no one cares about running. Why would you? It's not... Because it's a hard thing to be great at, but it's not. It requires no skill. It's like, if you're willing to just
got to do it a lot.
Keep doing it. Keep putting one foot in one or the other and doing that every day. It's a really easy thing to get good at. Hard mentally, and I guess it's physically exhausting.
What's the furthest you're running? Like, how far are we going into the running thing? I
got pretty fit over summer.
Yeah.
I did a 16K.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Yes. You are correct. I've put it this way, mate. I've leaned in to running this year. We had a bet going on our podcast, Luke and Lewis, that Lewis is so I have a thing called the Well Gym. And it's a lifestyle.
Free to join?
Yeah, it's a revolution. It's a lifestyle, and that's the main perk. It's free to join because people pay for gyms. Do you pay to go to a gym? Do you?
Well, jiu-jitsu, yeah.
No, okay. So no one here pays for a gym, but I'm sure a lot of people listening pay to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Why would you pay an establishment $20 a week to pick shit up and then put it back down? That's crazy. Don't you think that's crazy? They go, no, but like there's a mirror. I got that at home. I got shit to pick up at home. I can get stuff done. I got heaps of boxes I need to move. I got merch boxes and it's crazy. So I'm just like, I hate gyms. Fuck gyms. My biggest pet peeve is, you know what, fair enough if you are going there to actually bulk, because it is hard to bulk at home and it's expensive to buy gym equipment.
Yes.
I get it. Because you're kind of renting the gym equipment. But people who go to the gym to do cardio, get the fuck out of here. You're running inside. There's a whole world out there. That's why I made the world my gym. They're like, people are like, do you go to the gym? I'm like, yeah.
Every day.
I was born here.
I was born in the gym.
Yeah, we all hit the gym.
It's fucking true.
Who goes to a gym to just run on a treadmill and just watch the Today Show on mute in the background while Taylor Swift plays? Fuck that.
Or the Veronicas.
Yeah, I listen to the Veronicas by myself when I'm running.
Are you still on the Veronicas train?
Never get off. Choo choo, motherfucker. Why would you get off?
Hey.
All aboard. Join me in the World Gym.
That was probably one of the funniest things of, was that 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
2019. Completely against my will. Completely. I watched the Veronicas.
Twice.
Was it twice?
I went another time.
You went 3 times.
I went 3 times in 3 months to go see the Veronicas live. Never forget, best year of my life. Thanks, girls.
Wait, that really, like, I've been thinking this thing of like, when was peak humanity? Like, is it possible that
for
2019?
me, the grass is greener with Jace on the vodka Red Bulls going, baby, I don't want to live together. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You know,
Oh,
highlight of my life was turning around to Jace and hearing dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He went, oh, get fucked. And I went, be happy to be here. You're ruining this for me, Jason. Dude, so good.
I wonder if, let's just play a thought experiment. 2019.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a stock market curve. It hits like the top.
Yep.
And then it goes down. It could be a real slow decline.
It did crash
But
for me.
at some point, there's the peak of a graph. What if 2019 was the peak? You saw the Veronicas 3 times.
Yep.
The World Gym was open. Like
Yeah.
real.
The World Gym.
real
No, the
open.
World Gym thrived in 2020.
It did?
Because we lost our biggest competitor, gyms.
The gym.
So I got so many temporary World Gym members that messaged me on Instagram like, mate, I'm going to temporarily join. Well, gyms are shut down, but I can't promise I'll be back once they open. But I'm like, mate, great to have you on board. I converted people over the lockdown period. It was great for inductions, mate. I mean, we don't make any money out of it, although I do sell merch, Kidgell.com.
Have you got World Gym merch?
Fuck yeah.
Can you please find that?
Monetize
I want
that.
to
I should
see
have bought up a t-shirt. for you.
Fuck, I'm just going to buy
I'll
one.
send you one. I'll just send you one.
Let me buy one, mate. Support the cause.
Yeah, dude. We got World Gym t-shirts, jumpers. I made World Gym bottle openers because big part of the World Gym is alcohol abuse. Now, you're probably thinking, look, that sounds...
Oh, look at it.
How good, man. We got the bottle openers. We got the tank tops.
Unreal.
Yeah. I hate when I see people wearing them at gyms. It infuriates me. But also, they give me $30, so I can't be that mad about it.
Oh, that is awesome. So, yeah, LukeKidgell.com.
Yeah. Which is also tickets to the shows. Oh, I should have said that at the start. Damn it.
That's all right. I'll say it at the start for you.
Yeah.
I'll read out your dates.
Yeah,
You
hell
text me
yeah.
the dates and I'll read it in the intro.
yeah.
Because let's be honest.
Yeah, they're not still listening.
They're like, oh, it's only Jason that adds? Cool. I'll listen to them and then dip.
Yeah. But yeah, so we did this fitness challenge, right? And Lewis is a gym man. But you know who used to be a personal trainer?
No.
And you wouldn't believe it.
Nah.
You're like, really? He's a
Went
stick
into-
insect.
Went into comedy. Makes sense.
Yeah. But he's a gym man. I'm World Gym. So
Yeah.
we did a fitness challenge for a few months on the podcast. Like more just to keep ourselves in check. So the way we did it, it's a great way if you want to do it at home to keep yourself in check. It takes balls. You post a before picture and you just got to be honest. I look like shit at the end of lockdown. I was playing a lot of Tony Hawk, right? Eating a lot of chips,
Yeah.
staying up. I started drinking, like not sad drinking, but like I was doing.
This has got heavy.
Yeah, this got real heavy. I was drinking and I was at an all-time low. And I shat myself on my own couch.
And I sat in it for 2 more hours
Yeah.
until the end of Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I'm like, Endgame was on. And then, yeah, I hit my Endgame. No, so I was like, I was doing Friday night drinks and I was streaming a lot. And I just wasn't being that active because there was one point in the Melbourne lockdown where you only could leave your house for 1 hour a day. Like, that was the rules. And it was just a weird... And because, like, my whole comedy tour got cancelled and I lost a bunch of money and a bunch of motivation with that, it was hard to, like, keep pushing through it. But I kept pushing through with videos and stuff. But at the end of the day, I wasn't doing what I really wanted to do, which was stand-up. So I was a bit... I'll be honest, guys, I was a bit sad.
I bet.
Yeah, it was just a bummer of a year for a bit. But I was like making the best of it. But by the end, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like...
Where's the before photo? Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah. If you search
Go
up
on
the...
Luke's
no,
Instagram.
go on the Luke and Lewis one because we posted the before and after. You can see the progress. I made significant progress. I won most improved.
Okay.
Lewis ended up winning best overall physique. Who would have thought that a 6'8" man that only hit the gym for 3 months?
Is that how tall he is? 6'8".
Yeah, he's really tall.
Yeah, he's tall.
You've met him.
Yeah. But
Scroll down a little bit.
6'8".
Keep scrolling. Well, geez, we are consistent. Yeah, okay.
Look at that
See that
posing.
one there? That's the afters. So that's the after picture. Still
Okay.
not terrific rigs, but look at the befores. They were sloppy. That was our before. My before, it was not a bad rig, but just nothing.
There's
Awful.
a bit of bloating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's some bloating.
That was 6 months of sadness and going into that stomach. The improvement, that's the before and after. I'm really wonky. I've noticed I fucked up my my neck.
Yeah, you've
One
got...
shoulder is way lower.
Yeah, you got a bit of a...
Not good. So
I think
didn't-
I've got a bit of that going on. It's from being at a desk a lot.
Yeah, but you got to admit that's a solid improvement in. I think it was like 7 weeks or 8 weeks.
Yeah,
or
you can
something.
see that's like... That looks like when the chicks take all of the anything off their face and it's just like real round and smooth. And then that looks like it doesn't have a filter.
Yeah.
So one looks fake, one looks real.
Yeah, but I would say definite improvement. But I like started smashing running, and I got quite fit over the Christmas period. And
Yeah.
I have let it slip this week. I have still pretty fit, but I got my 5K time down. Like
So what are you doing 5Ks in?
I did 18:20.
That's really good.
I mean, I used to be a runner, so for me that's not good. Like
Okay.
I used to look at my times back in the day.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Dude, I was doing like 17 minutes, and I don't
Wow.
know how. And that's not actually that elite. Like the
Yeah.
elite guys get. I wasn't a 5K guy. I was like 800 meter and 1500 meter. I was middle distance.
Yeah.
Like I used to run sub 2. I don't know if that means anything to you,
Nah.
but I used to like. I think the best I ever did was like 5th in the state.
That's
So
pretty
it wasn't
good.
that good.
That's good. No, that's good.
Sure.
That's good. I'll give you that.
It's all right.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Claim it.
I would have made nationals if I had have lived in Adelaide. You know, like that's the standard I was at. It's like I wouldn't have had an impact, but
How was your running career? I was good for Adelaide.
for Adelaide, yeah, I was Adelaide good, but the problem is I lived in Melbourne.
I was Adelaide good
Yeah.
living in Melbourne.
Adelaide good is the best way to describe a mediocre career
That's so
in
sick.
any field. Like I was Adelaide good.
I was the king of Poo Castle,
Yeah.
essentially. Didn't have a moat.
Yeah. But yeah, that was great. That fitness challenge, the thing of already having the before photo on Instagram, so the fear of knowing that I had to post an after no matter what. We swore to everyone if you commit to thousands of people that you're gonna post an after picture no matter what, you kick into gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are thousands of people going, "What up, fatty? Run today?" And I'm like, "And I will."
Yeah, that's fucking cool. It's cool that you can like.
But it was what the best part was. It motivated a bunch of people. About 100 people listen to our podcast took this really seriously.
That's
and people,
awesome.
dude, so many people turn their fucking life around.
Yeah.
Like big, really, like people who were really unhealthy. Just a lot of dudes and stuff and girls. So there was a lot of dudes that did it. But
Yeah.
I'm assuming some girls did it and just obviously didn't send us their pictures. We weren't going to be like, "Hey, chicks, send us your before and afters."
Gotta be in undies.
Yeah. But a lot of guys sent us pictures and people shredded.
Really?
Yeah, out there, and it was either home gym or the world gym because that was like where Lewis was working out in the home gym during.
Okay, so he got like
He
equipment.
ended
and
up
stuff
buying
like that.
equipment, yeah. But it was great, and I was like, then started running again with my old running mates, and felt so much better. And you just like become happier, and it improved my comedy. Like it just improves you mentally.
Yeah.
Being fit, I became like a piece of shit. I didn't like the person I became actually by the end of the lockdown.
Without the
drive. Like
Yeah.
me with no drive was like, I had some drive to like keep it going.
But you were just like maintaining.
I was maintaining.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You were surviving, not thriving.
I wasn't one of the people who thrived in 2020. Some people thrived and like really made it their bitch and were like, if I have to be inside, I'm going to make the most of it. I was like, what I really want to do is you need to be outside to do.
Yeah.
You have to have people in a room to do stand up. So.
Yeah. It's on one hand though, it's cool to know that you love comedy that much.
Did you realize that? I don't know if anyone had ever worked. You guys didn't really get COVID like we did.
Our
but
life is great.
yeah. Anyway, this is really unrelatable, but it made me realize what the things you really like in life when it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, man, the last time I was here, I was probably like, going on tour, blah, everything's
you
great.
and-
Everything was on the fucking up.
Yes, you guys were both on the up.
Yeah.
Like both of you guys were fucking killing it, selling tickets.
I
and like it was
know.
rolling, dude.
And then like we just maintained the podcast and it was so hard doing Zoom episodes. We weren't even in the same room together. It's like at some point, like doing 2 50-minute episodes a week. We're just like, what have you done? Like, went to the kitchen the other day. Like, you can't really say anything interesting.
Yeah.
You know, like we were literally telling stories like, oh, I accidentally pissed on my toilet seat. Like, it's not interesting at all.
But I mean, fuck, it's gnarly to go through it and to keep it going and to just make it work. And I'm sure you would have
I don't have
taken
another
some
job. This is all I have.
But you would have taken some shit away from it though, you know? Like, I'm sure you would have honed in.
Dude, I work so much harder now because
After?
now I work harder because I'm like, what if it all goes away again? So like you know, I obviously there's probably going to be a vaccine, but like people, you know, there's people think that this whole pandemic thing might actually become
just normal.
a thing that happens like once every 10 years or something like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, once this bout goes away of COVID, whatever the next fucking virus or thing in the world is that puts hold to everything, like I'm just gonna go fucking hard. Like it made me really like realize like, oh, I got to appreciate, you know, the fact that I could just tour around the country and do shows on the Gold Coast, shows in Perth.
Yeah.
And now like I didn't even know if I could come here 2 days ago because we had like one case and thought they were going to shut everything down or whatever. But I have to get a permit to get back into Victoria. Like, it's just crazy.
It is. Well, fuck. Someone said something to me the other day that was just like, it was innocuous. Like, it was just they're doing fucking anal testing in China now.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I thought it was like a joke.
No, dude. So I have a friend and she lives in China and she's going to another city for Chinese New Year.
Yeah. I went to the airport. I was a little bit disappointed. I was like,
That you didn't get.
Just up the nose. Okay.
Like, can you
Like,
please
sir,
finger me?
Can you please pull your pants up? I'm like, oh, sorry, we're not in Hong Kong. My bad.
Here, come on. Let's just go again to be sure.
Really? So they're actually doing that?
Yeah. So she's going to another city.
Do they know that the nose works?
I don't know why they're doing the ask. Can you figure out? Can you maybe look at like anal COVID testing China?
Is it purely just for stimulation?
Yeah, I mean it is China, but yeah, like can you imagine? Like that's just a sentence, and she was just like,
or is it a quicker turnaround on the results?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's got to be a reason.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, like it's actually harder to go up there than the nose anyway.
Yeah.
Or is it so they don't have to face you, so that the person testing isn't?
I'm not sure.
likely
Go
to get
back.
it?
Is anything in there? Yeah. Oh wait. Rectal swabs for COVID-19. Let's try that. What's going on there? This is all just too much.
Oh, reading. Yuck.
Yeah, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I actually hate reading on a screen. China, go down that. Many. Where'd you go? China is now using anal swabs. Yeah, that one there. Health.com even. Ooh. If you thought getting COVID swabs up the nose was bad, wait until you hear what the Chinese are doing to test for the Rona, claiming higher accuracy than traditional tests. The city of Beijing has begun using anal swabs to increase the chance of detecting the virus, though you probably shouldn't sit down afterwards.
Jesus Christ.
But heavy. So scroll down.
Yeah.
Taking only 10 seconds. A nucleic acid swab is inserted about 3 to 5 centimeters into the rectum and rotated several times. After completing this motion twice, it's removed for collection. Experts claim the coronavirus anal swab is more accurate and raises the chances of detecting the virus. We bloody well hope. Yeah, righto. While anal tests are nothing new to the world of medicine, the rectal COVID-19 test gained notoriety after a widely circulated video service showing a doctor holding a highly visual demonstration of the procedure.
Did you see this?
I didn't see it.
It was with a dummy.
Oh, yeah.
Lewis showed it to me on the show the other day because he was like, mate, you going to the airport? Because neither of us said, this is the first time I travelled in like a year.
I haven't been on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, get keen for this. And that's why I was a little disappointed. But that's all right.
But yeah, so anyway, she's like going to this city for Chinese New Year. And then I was like, does that mean you could be like anal swabbed? And she's like, yeah, fuck.
No, it is.
It is what it is. But like, that's what we live in now.
They'll probably fucking put you in jail if you don't over there, to be honest.
That's what.
Why would you even go to China these days? Like, what?
Yeah, well.
What is there?
Yeah,
for
you're stuck now.
For a white person, you know?
Yeah, you're stuck there now. Just bad luck.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's the world we're living in, where it's okay to just be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna just to hop a flight, I'm gonna get anal tested for a virus, and that's just fine. Like that just is what it is.
I mean, it's like post 9/11, everything changed at the airports.
Yeah.
and now you've got to get changed at the airport. That's pretty annoying, but
But yeah, that goes back to that peak humanity. Was 2019 it?
maybe. I feel like if we make the call 2019 was the year, if someone's going to listen to this going, I fucking had a terrible year in 2019.
Yeah, I mean,
like someone's going to be like, I don't know, boys, it was not my year. I hope things get better.
Yeah, but in terms of like objective living conditions,
Yes.
like ease of being a human. So subjectively, like I think 2020 was my best year ever, personally. Had some heavy shit go down, worked my way through it. The podcast did great. I come out the other side feeling good. 2020 was good.
Probably like 2012.
You reckon?
You know, it was just, I mean, I was in year 10, although it's weird when you're in school. So it's like, how old are you? You love to be like, you're so young.
32.
All right. So you were probably almost at school too. Not really. No.
What year? 2012. I think
When did you?
I think
were
I
class of
graduated
2008?
2012. Oh,
2010?
2007. I graduated.
How did you get that off by 5 years?
I started school in 2007.
I graduated in 2007. How heavy is that?
Well, you started primary school in 2007.
Nah, prep.
Oh. What?
Yeah, prep in
How old are you?
2007. 18.
It's crazy.
Here's a baby.
Little baby.
That's crazy to think about.
I thought I was young.
Nah,
I'm old.
you're getting there.
Fuck, Lewis turned 27 the other day. He's so old. I mean, I know you're older than that.
I'm older
And that
than
must be
that.
sad for you, but I'm not. I would hate to be you. I don't know. Like, I used to always think, like, because I was used to always being the youngest comic on the lineup. Because in the field I am, most people don't even realize they want to do comedy till they're like 24. Usually people try other stuff in life and then go, maybe I'll be a comedian.
I failed at everything
Yeah.
else, and now I'm good at laughing at my failures.
Yeah.
Might as well broadcast
That's
them.
actually a lot of people.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Go to an open mic night. That is the vibe. But yeah, like, I just weirdly was like, when I was 18, was like, I think this is what I want to do. Maybe I'll try it. And then I loved it, and I just never stopped. But yeah, I'm used to being the youngest, and I've noticed, like, now I go to gigs, and I'm like,
Yeah, not.
I'm like one of the old codgers. You know, I'm like that season. I'm not really. I've only been doing it for 5 years, which is still a baby, I think, in comedy.
Well,
It's just comedy
yeah,
world.
yeah, but
In America, comedy, that's a baby. In Australia, that's not really.
yeah, I think that you,
People give up.
Lewis, like you guys, there's a group of you, and I said it the last times
Yeah.
you were on here, like, what you guys are doing is fucking sick. And especially what you said with the plans with the podcast now,
Yeah.
like getting crazy good sets, like
Yeah.
everyone that's in this space, like, it's fucking weird to think that, like, I don't think about it that often, but when you do stop to think about it, we are innovating this space. We're miles behind America.
That's the thing. We're innovating in Australia,
Yeah,
but
in
we're
Australia.
only copying what's already happening overseas.
But
so
isn't
it's not
it,
really
but it's
innovation.
still crazy to be in
we're,
that
I would say
first wave.
we're leading the first wave of it
Yeah.
here. But I guess if you're American, you're like, what? There's heaps of comedy podcasts. But 10 years ago, Joe Rogan was leading that wave of like all those podcasts that came out.
Yeah.
You know, like the spin-offs, like not spin-offs, but like all those guys who Rogan would have on, like Brendan Shaw was big in podcasting.
UFC.
And
Can you actually find go to just
Andrew
Joe
Santino.
Rogan's guest list? We were talking about this at
Even like
lunch. I'd
Theo
be
Von.
interested to see.
I think I'm correct. From memory, and well, this is what someone told me. Joe Rogan's podcast, I believe, when it was in the early stages, like we're talking first 50 episodes.
Yeah, just go to that one, Jerry Library, and
Jerry Library.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't just UFC fighters at the start. I thought it was like your podcast. It's
So
like,
just go all the way to the end,
Like-
so that we could see episode 1.
kind of like how yours is predominantly a Moto
Moto,
G,
yeah.
but Moto podcast. It's like I thought was predominantly
Yeah,
UFC at
I'm
the
not
start
sure.
because he used to commentate it, right?
Yeah, he still does.
Oh, see, I don't know.
So
those
yeah,
people.
Brian
Are they-
Redman,
I know
Ari
Ari's a
Shafir.
comedian.
So it was Eddie Bravo, so he's a MMA dude.
So
Go
when
on.
did Rogan start doing comedy? I don't even know.
Oh,
Look at
he's
us.
been doing it forever.
Two guys
dude.
on a podcast talking about another
Brian
guy.
Redman,
that's-
Eddie
Okay,
Bravo.
I'm wrong because Tom
So go-
Segura is a comedian.
So far, it's pretty much all comedians.
Really? Who's?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was completely wrong.
yeah. Bill Burr, Sam Tripoli, Joey Diaz, Brian Callen, Dane
So
Cook.
are these? But you, do you just not know the fighters? Though?
No. So Eddie Bravo, he's his
Is he a
jiu-jitsu
fighter?
coach.
Who's Mayan Miller? Is that a fighter?
Go. Oh yeah, he's a fighter.
I only recognize, and I'm really into comedy, like
So
half
it's-
of these names. It's half.
So it's literally fucking.
I recognize about 50% of these names,
Yeah. So it's literally comedians and fighters. That's it.
which is still pretty much the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
That's
he was
awesome.
always
Yeah.
quite popular. But when he started the podcast, he was famous, right? I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, so he did Fear Factor.
Right.
So he was on News Radio, which was like a sitcom, and he lived in like Boston
I
or New
remember
York.
Fear Factor. They just
Yeah.
dump it was like good. I'm
Yeah,
a celebrity, get me out of here. They just dump cockroaches on people's
Yeah.
face and then just give them money because it's
Yeah.
America.
So he was UFC commentator, did News Radio, then he did Fear Factor. Fear Factor is what got him like fuck you money, because it's still like syndicated, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
So then he did that, and then was UFC commentator, comedy, and then
Right.
the podcast. But yeah, it wasn't like a huge variety of guests like it is now. But
Yeah,
that
it's
was
cool. But what they did in that scene is kind of what we're trying to do in Australia. Like, obviously nowhere near the same scale.
Yeah.
But like, what that scene in LA was before there was a mass exodus last year. Everyone fucking left.
Yeah.
But like when I went in 2018 to the Comedy Store, did I tell you about like the lineup I saw one night?
I think maybe
Just like crazy. This is only gonna
resonate
with comedy fans.
yeah.
But like I saw like Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen, Andrew Santino, Brendan. This is all in one night. David Spade, Whitney Cummings.
Wow.
Like all of these like huge names.
So
like
you just
in this,
stayed there all night.
Bobby Lee. Like yeah, dude, Theo Von. Like I saw just like this crazy night of comedy for like $20. All some of the biggest comedians in the world.
Yeah.
Just all performed back to back to back, and it was just crazy. And then they're all big. The only reason why they are all popular is because of the podcast. Like, and
Yeah.
Joe kind of started that. Plus, Joe Rogan was on the lineup. I forgot about that. Yeah, it was just like so weird, and we want to like not maybe create that. That's obviously like the end goal, but like we just like that's why we have guests on our podcast, and we bring on some comedians that are like kind of not as well known, but we think they're fucking hilarious, and
Yeah.
our audience gets on board with it. And obviously, it's on a completely small scale, but the end goal is to like create
scene,
like a
yeah.
scene or a hub, and that only works so if other people start popping up nice
Yeah.
studios and stuff. But
Yeah.
man, not many people, as I was saying last time, like have a permanent space.
This would be one
Most
of
people
the
just record it in their fucking living room. Like they set up mics on a H
Yeah.
floor and just click record.
Which is what everybody was doing originally anyway. And like my whole thing for the whole time I've started the podcast was I just wanted to have like the cool studio.
Yeah.
And it was just like build it and they'll come.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was cool. When you hit me up, like a lot of people hit me up to do podcasts, and I'm like, you know, I'm usually only in a place for like 24 hours, so I only have time to do like
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
And when you hit me up, I was like, oh, I'm pretty busy on the Gold Coast. And then I saw the studio, and I was like, I'm coming to that. That's sick.
That's so cool.
Because like I've never seen someone put in effort before. I was like, this guy like has microphones. It's crazy.
He's got a whole thing.
It's so good.
But yeah, that was one of like, because I didn't have any. The funniest part is like I had no thoughts about myself and my ability to have a podcast. But
When I met
was
you,
like,
you had the lowest self-esteem.
around this.
Around this, not in general. Just like, not that you didn't believe in it. You believed in it, but you were just like, oh man, like it's so weird that anyone listens to this. You're like, isn't that so fucking strange that people want to hear what I have to say? He's like, you've met me. Like I'm an idiot. Like you're just like so surprised of the success of this podcast. But once again, that's the appeal.
Yeah.
Is like you were never wanting to be famous.
Well, I was
Or
just
you-
trying to
not that
make
you
it.
are or whatever, but like
I was trying to make it good. Like to me,
Yes.
this is like just a project. This is like a way. This is a really good use of my time.
Yeah.
Like I have a certain amount of energy that I need to direct towards something.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get a job. Like I'm just not that kind of
that's
person.
what I do, but I apply that to being an asshole on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
like, it's just a hobby, and I'm really good at it. Like,
That's
put
pretty
a lot
much
of energy into being a piece of shit, but you did it obviously into something positive.
Well,
good
but,
for you.
and that's why I'm great. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I could build this really good studio. I had in my head an idea of like what a good podcast could be.
Right.
and the me sitting down and doing it, that was kind of like
The hardest part?
after. No, it was just the afterthought.
Yeah.
So like even like yesterday we had Luke Fink in here, and I was gonna watch all his videos, and I was gonna do some research, and I was gonna have some, but I was like trying to figure out this like new studio space that we're trying to do. Like that's the stuff that really like I enjoy that shit. It's
You
more
always-
of like the project part of it, you know?
Yeah, like today when I came in, Jace is like, we didn't talk about us doing this podcast at all. Like,
No.
obviously, we were like, hey, do you want to come do the podcast? Yeah, cool. We organised that. Then today, he was like, oh, so we're extending out the wall. We're knocking this wall down. We're going to get these LEDs that just run through the night. Doesn't give a shit about the content. Like, none of this was planned at all. Like, but he's just like, mate, we're going to have a terrible conversation under great lighting. It's going to look fucking sick. But because like the vibe is just turn on the mics on, and if the guest is interesting enough and you know enough about moto and are passionate enough about it, that's the podcast. That's why people listen it. You know?
And I know with you that
We can just
you just do it, and I feel like and there's so many people, and I probably get a lot of people will suggest people to come on the podcast, and then they're definitely worthy of being on like a big platform. They've got a cool story, but it's like there's a certain personality that needs to vibe with the fact that I kind of don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think there's literally been people that have been disappointed by the lack of
respect
effort that goes into the actual conversation.
Yeah.
But it's like that to me is
because like they think they're coming in for an interview, and you're like, all right, we rolling. What up? And then 3 hours later, you're like, all right, so check them out on Instagram or whatever the fuck. Who cares? Bye. And then like it's just from A to B. There's just the journey is like you're like I'm just here for it, because you go to me before we start. You go, honestly, man, like we've been working so hard on this shit. Like I love doing the podcast because it's just like my time off. So guys, this is Jace on holiday right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I literally get to sit down for 3 hours now and just chill. I don't have to look at my phone. Just fucking.
You actually said you had some talking points. You go to me over lunch. You go, I actually wrote. This is why I was surprised too. You go, oh yeah, I don't want to freak you out, but I actually wrote down some conversation points. I mean, it has taken us 2 hours to get to them.
Dude, 2.5. How long have we been going for? 2.5.
We did this
2.5.
We do this shit every time. I'm so sorry I have to sit here.
No, it's good. I like it.
He's getting paid.
Yeah.
Don't feel sorry for him.
He's like, mate. He's like, and I'm gonna invest it all.
Yeah, mate. Yep.
Go to the moon. Doge to the moon.
I want you to explain Eshays to me.
This is more of a Lewis question because he
he
grew up
on
on the
that?
Frankston line. I'm not from that area of Melbourne.
What is it?
Have you seen that,
Did you?
Frankston?
Yeah, of course, mate. He's the mayor. This video circulated.
So I think go to the
around.
Daily Mail. There's like a Daily Mail article.
Yeah.
I need to know. Actually, you know what? Speaking of like the
he
whole.
owns Frankston.
Yeah, he's the whatever. See this? That's out of place.
What?
What is this? What's this up to? That shouldn't be there. That's in shot.
Oh, and that's been there for 2.5 hours. See,
Fucking cool.
yeah, doesn't care that I like say a bunch of rude shit on his podcast.
That's
But
what
cares if
pisses
the
me off.
mic can't catch me doing it.
Also care when I run over these fucking.
Okay, now we're just listening to some admin being done mid podcast. This should have been done 2.5 hours ago.
Sorry, mate. Is there? Yeah. All right. This is fucking hectic.
It's so good, man. This kid. By the way, we do our show in Frankston.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
This kid owns us. This kid's my
Oh,
boss.
that is the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, he's our boss.
Let's just let's
I
watch
like
this.
that they've blurred this kid because he's a minor, but
So turn the sound.
you
We need to
get
hear
some
this little
sound. It's
fuckwit.
so good, dude. So he's wearing like some Chicago Bulls
Greatest team
shorts.
ever.
This is the quietest video of all time.
Yeah, you might have to turn up there. Sorry, Ryan. He's just new.
Yeah, no,
He's learning.
I know.
There's a lot going on over there.
It shows.
I'm real sorry.
He hits a guy on a train. I own Frankston.
Play it again.
There's another video that.
Get the fuck, Ronan. What?
Mate. Oh, Jesus
Is this a
Christ.
TikTok ad?
Yeah, this is an ad for TikTok.
Oh,
I think you got to play it for it to play through, though, right?
nah,
These
I'll just
fucking
refresh it.
millennials ticking their talks and
Ticking
talking
their
their
talks.
ticks. Who would upload on that app?
You would be lucky to outright own a Chopper Chop.
Yeah.
In terms of like,
I highly doubt he is part of the body corporate that owns any part of Frankston, let alone the whole thing. Also, it's not even impressive to own property in Frankston, like, at all. So it's like, if he was like, I own Brighton, or
I own the Mornington Peninsula.
yeah, I'd be like, all right, well, that's, you know, there's a beach there, like, that doesn't have syringes in it. Dude, this kid is my boss.
So
'cause he
describe.
owns
So
the place
I would
work
like
at.
your description for the people that are just listening to this little fucking turd.
Eshays is like a subculture of degenerates who wear bum bags and just like skinny, bit methy, and ride the train because they either lost their license or most likely didn't have a father figure to get it. Which is sad. It's honestly just sad. Like, it's people like make fun
Okay,
of
let's get to the
Eshays.
serious bit at the end.
Okay.
Let's just because I agree with you.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
it's
that's where
fucking
we
sad.
need to go to bookend this thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's fun to be had first.
That's fun. I mean, we tried to do this on our podcast. We brought this up and it ended up just being sad because I think
It is sad.
At one point, I was like, in good faith, someone should just put this kid in jail now before he kills a servo worker.
What's
Like,
someone
that's just good. Like, that's
kills a servo
no,
worker?
not that. I meant before that happens.
No,
'Cause that's
what-
the trajectory.
That's what happens.
He's going Iron Frankston and is hitting a stranger in the face on a train, and he's like 9. Like, dude, you don't even have your fucking pen license. Get that and then move forward from there. You can't go straight to just hitting people on a train. You have to learn how to write with ink, dude. He's still fucking writing with lead like a child.
Like, because he is a
He
fucking
probably
child.
fucking sniffs it at the end.
Dude, this is fucking pretty sad. Like,
That's like.
it's really all
I just
the-
have nothing funny to say about it, really, because I see this every time I go to the Frankston shops.
Yeah.
And, like, you see people like, what are you looking at? And that's what you see. Oing. Oing. Oing, right. Oing. Sometimes it's not even, like, English. They're just like, I'm just like, fuck, I want to make that my new ringtone. Get a text. Oh, mum's calling. I take it back. It's hilarious. I don't know. I just feel like I'm punching down because I am.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up in this world. Like, I grew up in quite a nice place of Melbourne, and I understand the privilege, and obviously
You acknowledge the
I
privilege.
acknowledge that I was dealt a very good hand at birth, and my parents are
'Cause
lovely.
that's the thing.
Dude, my parents love me.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and I love them back. And some people don't have that, and that's how you end up punching a person on a train
First
when
of all,
you're 9. How old is this kid? Do people know how this kid is?
I'm not sure.
Eshay.
This boy was dressed in typical Eshay clothing consisting of a cap, a Nike, and Nike TN runners.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what TN
This
runners
guy is
were.
like the poster boy for the future of Oz rap.
Yes.
Like, this is
what's that? Oh, Cursor.
Cursor.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't fuck with Cursor.
So so is that what started Eshays?
I think
Or
so.
like
That culture.
what's the origin of the Eshay?
I don't know. Like, you're asking the wrong person. Like, this is all new to me because I was sheltered from this as a kid, and then when I got out of high school, I was like, we went to this, you know, you go on a city, and then like you're at Flinders Street Station at like 3 a.m. and you're like, oh, this guy's a knife. Cool.
Yeah.
That didn't happen where I grew up. I grew up in the
Yeah.
northeastern suburbs of Melbourne. It's lovely. There's trees. My friend who grew up in Frankston, like our Keelan, the guy who does video editing, our Ronan, you
Yes.
could say, he went for a walk with me. Like, this was the bit in lockdown where we could meet up again. So we caught up, went to my area, and it's a very green area. I live in a suburb called Eltham, and it's fucking lovely. We're walking along, and he goes, you can like smell stuff here. And I go, what? And he goes, there's birds. And I go, yeah. And he goes, that's crazy.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this kid has never seen a bird.
Fuck.
Like, unless it's like a pigeon eating out of a bin.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
There's no like sulfur-crested cockatoos
There's
that
just
are eating
no. He's probably never seen like
sunflower seeds on his
a
balcony.
colourful bird before. Like, I don't know. It's just some of these like suburbs. Like, Frankston gets a bad rap. It's not that bad, but people like this. This is why Frankston gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
It's because there's like a real minority and like a bit of a wealth disparity there where some people there are still like that. But it's definitely not as bad as I imagine it used to be.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know those places like, oh, it's a bit rough.
Like
People
King's
say-
Cross.
People say that about, King's Cross,
Yeah.
or people say that even here.
Burleigh used to be like that.
People go, oh, Palm Beach is a bit rough. No, it's not. It's gentrified as fuck.
Yeah.
I did a stand-up comedy night at a cafe bar last night. Everyone's like, oh, it's pretty rough. And I'm like, oh,
Palmy's heavy,
mate, it was 10 p.m. and a guy was sipping a chai latte in the front row. It was loose.
I was fucking scared.
That's probably why he shut himself. Maybe it was just too much coffee.
Too much Byron Bay fucking organic roast.
But a lot of these places, I think, get a really bad rap because back in the day, like, it was rougher.
Yeah.
And now these places are being like...
And the people are still there, like the rough people that were.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I got a story of when I was a kid. I was probably 14 years old, and I was at the footy, and I knew the guy. He'd coached me on an old football team, and I'd left and gone to another team. I always hated this dude. Never liked him. He was an old guy. Like, he was like in his mid-40s, right? Full of cheek, and I'm giving him fucking shit. And I'm standing next to him watching this game, mouthing off, and he fucking elbowed me in the face. Fucking blood pissing out of my nose, cut all my fucking lips.
Yeah.
Like, I was shook to my core. This dude fucking leveled me. That's what needs to happen to that kid.
Yeah.
It did me a massive...
Someone will punch him in the face.
But the problem is
But
like...
you can't hit a kid, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's a problem. I was a kid. He hit me. It fucking helped me out. Like, it really... Like, that, honestly...
You could probably kick one.
You could just give me a little...
Yeah, because you're like... Someone's like, did you hit him? You're like, nah. No, officer, I did not punch the child. They go, oh, good.
But, like...
Because no officer's going to be like, did you roundhouse kick him in the throat? No one's going to say that. So you just...
Yeah, like, did you punch him? Nah.
Nah. And they'll go, sweet. We're like...
It ends there.
How come it's dead? I'm like, I don't know.
But this guy...
Imagine them reviewing the security camera. Just like in Chase, like grappling some 9-year-old, going, why does no one respect this?
Laugh at me now. But like that fucking fixed me when I was a kid. Like, I just didn't mouth off at people in the same way. And like, I've gotten in fights and shit after that.
You deserved it.
I did deserve it. And at the time, it fucking rattled me to like full blood. I've refused. Didn't tell my dad. Like, I was just like, wow, this one is on me.
Yeah, I got punched in the face a few times playing footy, and it's painful. And it's like, it's not even the pain of like, oh, sure, the punch hurts, but it's like the humiliation of, especially when you deserve it. Like
the reality.
Dude, one time I was mouthing off this guy in footy, or I did something dog, and then he punched me in the face, and none of my teammates backed me up. And a few of the other guys were like, you deserve that. And I was like, fuck, that is a wake-up call. You know, I was like 16, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Hey, there's some gold in there. There's some gold to be mined in that situation.
Yeah.
And like, when this dude fucking elbowed me in the face, I was like, wow, I'm not going to be a smart ass fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, I can't cash this check.
Yeah.
But
See,
the
now
problem
I
is,
get paid for it, you know? So I never stopped. I wasn't like, this is a wake-up call, I need to change. I was like monetize it now.
I need to do this behind the protection of a microphone.
Yes, I need security at the venue. I need to be on a stage. I need to be untouchable.
But man,
that's why they're my idols.
But
my coins.
That kid on that train,
Yeah.
you just need to elbow that kid in the face.
But I wouldn't know because he's my boss. So.
Yeah, well, he owns you.
He does.
But to someone from Burleigh. But yeah, I mean, it's fucking pretty gnarly. But like, you almost, at what point is it that kid's fault?
No, that's what's not.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, no, it's not his fault. He's
that.
way too young to
what
even...
What could he do differently in that situation? So like, you are born into Frankston. Obviously,
You'd
there's
assume the parents are not there or unexistent in his life, or he's clearly not doing a good job. Because even just look, I know it's like stupid to judge a book by its cover, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why books have covers, right? People just go, don't judge a book by its cover. It's like, yeah, well, get a good illustrator. That's why people pay the big bucks,
yeah.
right? So you look at that, you look at the little fucking Padawan, you need to grow one
You
soon.
need one.
The little Padawan rat tail he's got going out of his stolen Nike cap. He's got like some Chicago Bulls.
Fitting the profile
Yeah.
as hard as you could, like,
But he's seen like what scummy people wear and then been like, I want to dress like that.
yeah.
And it's just somehow acquired the style or the clothing that he needs to look like a degenerate. So like he's clearly been influenced, because you don't wake up one day without having no influence and go, I want to grow a rat tail.
9 years
That
ago.
comes from like a place of I think people with rat tails are cool,
Yeah.
which means other people in his life who if you have a rat tail, you're probably a great bloke. I'm not saying everyone has a rat tail.
Costa Zoo.
At the end of the day, you're probably going to walk into a Jedi temple and slaughter a bunch of younglings, and that's this kid's future.
That's him
Yeah.
on the train.
Yes, and he will never be, just like you, Ronan, has not yet granted the rank of master, but I must say you are well more on your way than this man, this child.
Yeah, your
God I am.
your future's
Yes.
looking much brighter.
Yeah, you're not like going on the fucking bus, going slapping old guys, going, I own Burley.
I own Ormo. Yatla.
Yeah,
Yatla, stand up.
yeah. I fucking baked the pies, bro.
You heard of the pies? I own
Yeah,
them.
I own those pies.
Mum's recipe.
Yeah, fuck it. I am Mrs. Mac as well.
But like 9 years ago, that kid was a baby.
Yeah, what happened? What went wrong?
Only 9 years ago. Like, so you don't have that much volition in 9 years to like really dictate who you are as a human. Like, you're pretty much on autopilot.
Oh, you get sculpted by your environment.
Yep.
And it's just that's why it's a bit sad. That's why, like, whenever we've talked about it on podcasts and it's been going around in the news, there's a reason why the news blurs the kid's face. Obviously, it's illegal to probably show a minor, but it's just sad. But all the news articles were like full of making fun of it. They're like, how to know if your kid is an Eshe. Did you see those ones?
Nah.
Yeah, the news is like milking this for like laughs.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is an actual social problem.
I wonder
like,
what happened with the kid. Like, who knows?
dude. But man,
The kid was probably like, I went viral.
Yeah.
Now I really own
kid's-
Frankston.
Wait, the kid probably is. He's like, this is Australia's Cash Me Outside.
Yeah.
I own Frankston. How about that?
Catch me at the skate park. How about that?
Catch me in Frangers. How about that?
Yeah, it's sad. Well, what else was on your list of you? He wrote down a list of like, he goes, I want to ask you about like Australian culture.
Yeah, I was like,
because
you're
I
the-
live in a den and just edit moto videos.
We pretty much talked. The only thing was the Joe Budden thing going to Patreon. Have you seen that?
Who?
You know Joe Budden?
No.
So,
You tell me.
oh, okay. Well, fuck.
Who's
so,
Joe Budden?
So Joe Budden.
Not Joe Biden.
No. Joe Budden is like a rapper
Cool.
in America, but he has one of the biggest podcasts. Like, he's been doing it forever.
Yeah.
So just, can you look up like Joe Budden goes to Patreon? So anyway, he was like the first creator with the Spotify deal. So he was like
before Rogan.
way before. Like,
there are a
years.
bunch of people that had one before.
Yeah, so he
Rogan
was
got
one of the original Spotify dudes, right?
just purely just Spotify
Yeah.
only. Yeah.
So then when the Rogan thing went down and he got the speculate, I also heard.
Hang on, how many people on Patreon does he have?
I'm not sure.
Because he's not the biggest podcast. Because I'm pretty sure Andrew Schultz's podcast is the biggest.
And
On Flagrant 2 is the biggest on Patreon.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. So they've only just joined. Like,
Scroll down.
this was like yesterday.
How they? Oh, it doesn't say. Oh, they've hidden how many people.
So
Join.
they've given him stock in Patreon. So they've given him shares.
So people
in
have
the
to
company.
pay to be a part of just now. So now it's pay to listen.
I don't know exactly how it is working.
Oh, it's just Patreon content.
Yeah, I think they're doing extra Patreon content on there or something. Or like they've moved.
Oh no, he
all
said
the-
it says the Joe Budden Network will now be hosted on the Patreon platform. So you have to pay. It's behind a paywall.
really the whole
Is
podcast.
that a good decision?
I don't think so.
No, because some people, you just lose 75% of people
I reckon.
at minimum.
There's so many other like.
Because there's other
There's
ways to
so many
monetize
other ways
podcasts, and
to
people
monetize.
know that. So Patreon's great for the fan, and we have a Patreon. And I have one as well. It's great for creators, but it's great for the fan that really likes you,
community,
and
yeah.
it's what people join for the community.
Yeah.
And also, like, tomorrow I'm going to the MCG and we're playing cricket with all my Patreon, all my Discord people.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's like I won a cereal box competition, a Wheat Bix. Well, it was mid-lockdown, and I'm going like, let's be honest, life was a little slow. I had time to read the Wheat Bix box. I'm reading it, and I go, oi, Meg. Like, as a joke, I go, we can win a bloody Wheat Bix cricket kit. And then Meg, she's already Googled it, logged onto the website. She goes, chuck me the code. And then she just types them in. We won it. And then, so she checks her address in. We forgot about it. A week later, I'm like, what's this package? I opened it. I'm like, fuck yeah. Plastic cricket set. So
No
tomorrow
shit.
it's getting a debut. And
At
but
the MCG.
in the car park, sure. But, you know, we're meeting, well, the event's going to, when's this coming out?
I don't know. We might put it out tomorrow. Today.
Oh.
Who cares? Who knows?
All right, well, hey, come along. Please don't. It's for my Patreon people. I'm not going to tell you where we're meeting now.
At the MCG though.
In the car park. But, yeah, it's, actually, you probably should cut that, actually.
Why?
Oh, I just like don't want people. It's rude to them. The people have paid to be there. I just feel bad.
I don't think anyone will go.
No, I don't think anyone will go. But that's right. But yeah, like that community is like what, like that was the best thing that come out of 2020 for me.
Yeah.
Like I really built a tight knit community
Did you
during
lean
the
in?
lockdown. I lent into the Patreon community. It's because those are people that were supporting me when all my shit got cancelled, and you
Yeah.
know, obviously it wasn't my fault, but. At the end of the day, those people stuck around and were like, nah, man, like, you're going to get back. And, like, you know, we're still loving your YouTube streams. And,
Yeah.
yeah, so I try and give back as much as possible. But I doubt Joe Budden's going to fucking, you know, the Staples Center and shooting hoops outside.
That's like one of the problems that, like, we've got a Patreon. There's a few people in
That's what
there.
happens when you get that famous, though.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't know whether this is like a conceited way to think about it, but like it was one of the reasons why, and for the record too, 2020 I definitely took your advice more about like the community side of it. The guys at the Daily Talk Show, like they're really active with their
Yeah.
community. So then through 2020 with the whole COVID thing, like it really, like the Gypsy Gang became a thing. Like it was like a name that everyone kind of called.
But it is a thing, though. Like, how long have we been gone for? 3 hours. Like, if you're here now, you're in the gang.
Yeah, big time.
You're a gang member. And
Dude.
it's a tough thing to tell your friends as well. Yeah, I joined a gang, whatever.
I joined a gang.
Yeah.
We're gonna get like patches and shit made up.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be legit. We're actually a fucking motorcycle gang too. How cool is that?
You're a moto gang.
Like we can fully claim that we're a
Motorcycle
gang. We're a
gang.
motorcycle
Yeah.
gang. And we ain't no Nike bikies either.
Dude, the Hells Angels are running scared.
Dude, we're seriously like we're up there with the. We have a lot of
You'd probably
members.
have more members.
We probably do.
You wouldn't beat them maybe like,
In a fight.
sure, but, you know, maybe in like a verbal, no, not even. I feel like
I
they'd throw
wouldn't.
some
I
good
just
shade.
wouldn't say shit. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm trying to think of a field you'd beat them in. Not doing
News.
crime. Boom.
Yeah.
You've got them.
Definitely.
Although, maybe a lot of criminals listen to this.
True.
I don't know.
There's probably people illegally streaming a bunch of shit.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Cyber criminals. Yeah,
crime.
tough.
A little Dickie song. But yeah, I definitely put more value on that. But like in my head, the resistance that I originally had was
You
like,
just didn't think anything of yourself. You were like, why would anyone want to be a part of my community?
yeah, well, there's probably a bit of that. But there's also the fact is like at some point, in my head, I was like, at some point it will probably get too much.
Too big.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
And that's like, it might sound conceited to say that, but it's like, you just do a projection. If you're getting
Sure.
bigger every single month,
Yep.
and then now, I've given up on the Instagram replying thing. Like all I do now,
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
I
do
don't
my
do-
best, and
yeah.
you're probably there as well.
Yeah, I just do my best. I only reply to people who have a genuine question either about a show or like if people just, you know, reply to my stories and stuff or just dumb shit, I'm not going to reply to that because it's otherwise, because people don't get that. They go, well, you doesn't reply. It's like, if I did do that to everyone,
I'd be here
you
all
wouldn't
day.
get any videos.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you got to pick one. Do you like my content or do you want me to fucking send you thanks on Instagram?
And you can spend too much time in like Gypsy land.
Yeah.
And it's like I could at this point now only think about this podcast, talk on this podcast, reply to people about this podcast, read comment. Like there's enough there
Yeah.
now to do.
Between all the different social medias, if I just refreshed every single app right now and then did it again in another minute, there'd be a new comment to read.
Yeah.
On TikTok or Instagram, whatever. So it's like so therefore you can't spend your whole life on it, otherwise you will.
So that was one of the things where I was just like,
No, but I think you're viewing it as like, oh, I don't want to get too involved. Like I don't want them to think I've dogged them and got too
that's
good for
what
them.
I am, yeah.
No, I think
I
think you have the wrong perspective, because I used to think that too, and then I realized like, no, these people are supporting you because they want to see you fly.
Yeah.
Like they want you to, you're a little cocoon now, and they're like helping you to get out.
Yeah.
Like people will like want to send you off into the world and be like, and I was there at the start. And
I've literally just
but
never thought of it
they
like that.
understand. People aren't stupid. I'm sure some people might get weird about it. Like, oh, you sold out. Fuck them. If they're like that, then fuck you.
Yeah.
You were never really a true fan anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think when people like sell out, that's the term people use for success now.
Yeah.
He sold out. I'm like, no, he monetized his job, you dickhead.
Yeah.
You want him to live with his parents forever? I hate when people say that shit. Like, oh, we put ads on my videos. Oh, fucking sell out. No, it's called being a YouTuber.
It just
AdSense doesn't pay well.
Yeah, this is a job.
It's my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are so dumb. But like, I think most people and people who are willing to support you now are going to want you to thrive. And then when the time comes where you're like, look, I can't commit to all these Patreon things and stuff, they'll be like, we've done it. Wasn't the objective of them supporting you financially to make the podcast better? They've done their job. Sure. Their work's done. They can keep listening and enjoy watching your success. I think you just realize that like people want you to succeed, and that's why they're giving you money.
Yeah, I don't know. I had that like,
and people know, we talk about it in my Discord. They go, oh, like, would it be cool if in 2 years, like you couldn't even do this because too many people would show up. So people now in my Discord are like, well, I'm not going to miss this one because I'm excited.
For when
because they do believe in me, so they're like, man, one day we won't be able to do this together, and that'll be so cool. Like, because at the moment, like in Melbourne, meetup of people have to pay to be there. Also, probably like 20 or 30 people will show up.
Yeah,
which is great. That's a great number of like people. You can have a beer with them. We're gonna have some beers. We're gonna like play a game of cricket, just chill. That sounds fun. I'm looking forward to it. But there will be a time where that becomes shit.
Yeah. See, I had this that in my head. I'm like, I just don't want to dog the boys, Like,
no, because they don't see it like, or at least people of mine don't.
Yeah,
they like go.
I hadn't thought.
They
of it
go.
from
I
that
would love
side.
for you to never be able to do this again if the reason was you were too successful for it.
Yeah,
because they're like, that's why I support you.
Man, I feel like there's definitely like this tipping point though, and like I felt this when we did that whole beef video thing, and then it became like that video made it obvious, like, oh, the podcast is like really big. Like, look at all these people. Like, this started a thing that like went ongoing, and then it was just like.
Do you think like some projects, like I say Joe Rogan, do you think like he has a disconnect from his audience?
Yeah, I wouldn't think that he gives a fuck at all.
Yeah, he doesn't. But that's also the appeal.
Yeah, because
like they say things, and I've seen clips and I've disagreed with some stuff he said, and that's the point. Like, you're not going to disagree with everyone.
Yeah,
and I'm sure people disagree with you sometimes about your opinions on moto stuff. They probably go, oh, well, that's an interesting take, but it's like the Andrew Schultz thing. Like, I didn't agree with his take on Sacha Baron Cohen. Still one of my favorite comedians and a great guy.
Yeah, Yeah,
like I think it's just one of those things where. That could become the appeal of your podcast, is like, you don't give a fuck anyway. You never did.
Well, I don't give a fuck about like, if people don't agree with me, that's fine. Like, I don't agree with everything my mum says. I fucking love it a lot. Like, so that it's not that so much the expectation, but pretty much like, so
you can stay connected with your audience.
Yeah,
I think Hamish and Andy do it great. They're the best example, man.
Because there's people right now that like, if I go in my DMs now, there'd be people that like serial reply to stories, and I have like a genuine Discord with them. Like, I don't know them, but they're like cool people, and that profile picture comes up, and like Unco Ant, for example, like that's his Instagram name. He's from Cairns. Like, don't know him. We know a few of the same people.
Same,
and like
you have your top fans, and
he'll like message about like pretty much every episode. He definitely doesn't agree with all the shit I say.
Yeah,
but like, I see that guy come up.
That's why he likes you, because you're offering him a different perspective.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude, people who listen to shit they disagree with all the time, just like in a weird echo chamber. Like, I love listening to stuff that I disagree with, because I'm like, oh, I never thought of it like that before. Yeah. But I'm like, nah, I still don't agree, but that is an interesting take.
Yeah.
Most logical people don't like listening to things that they already agree with.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And
that is true.
Weird, fucking psycho weirdos listen to it because
That's
it
pretty much
reinforces
all
their
of
shit
YouTube,
opinions.
Yeah.
Some people love listening to shit they agree with because they're like, I was right.
Yeah. And then other people like listen to shit they don't agree with.
To
they're like,
be negative.
Yeah, and then they're like,
Yeah.
I am right. This guy's wrong.
Yeah, but you just got to listen to stuff where you're like, I agree with the majority, but sometimes you
Yeah.
don't like that.
But it's funny. So we did that video, and then I think it became pretty obvious to everyone, like the impact
that
of
you're
like,
a real part of this community.
Yeah, it was like, oh, actually, you kind of like, and the dude that we
Dudes
did
in
the video
America
with,
talking shit. That means you've made it in this biz, your biz.
but he fully backed down. Like he just wanted nothing. Like, the smoke came, and then it was just like, he was out. Like there was no more comments. It was like, and that to me was not a sign of me. That was more a sign of like the fucking gang, like the people that they were like, hey, don't fuck with us.
Wasn't his biggest argument, you showed me briefly before the show, wasn't his biggest argument like, oh, he doesn't go to these events, so why is he talking about it?
Yeah, pretty much. But null and void. Silly argument.
All right, well, a lot of people talk about the fucking moon, but, no one's fucking been there except for Neil and Buzz. So ask them. Man, what a shit thing to say. You can't Google the race results.
Or watch it on TV.
I know,
live
you can
as
watch it.
happens and stream it to 20,000 fucking people.
Fuck's wrong? Now that, if you're talking about shit takes, that's shit. And I love this because I can throw shade at some guy I'll never meet, and I don't care if he hates me. What is he, American Moto? What the fuck? Hey guy, this is your brain. But also that's Jason's brain too. So now at this point I'm just throwing stones at all corners.
You're the chimp in the zoo.
I'm in the middle just like throwing poo.
throwing shit at the screen.
I'm just like, I hate the keepers and I hate the people who pay to be in the zoo. Fuck them all.
Anarchy. But I think I can't remember what my fucking point was here. But pretty much like, so then there was an example of it was like, oh, this is fucking cool.
By the way,
This
clip that. I'll get views.
Post that.
Post that.
That was the other weird argument too, which like I kind of can't really say anything about it. But his take was, yeah, I'm gonna give you
allow me, a guy who doesn't even understand the argument.
But the whole like. The one tweet he ended up tweeting me and said like, you always use me for views.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know that I need to.
Right, do you? I mean, you just clip everything, right? That's interesting.
Yeah, and it was just like one video. But also
But isn't that the game?
But
like,
also
I mean, that's what I do. Like, that's why I review shows on
Bachelor,
YouTube, like
yeah.
The Bachelor, because a lot of people watch it. So it's like, you go where the eyes are at. Yeah. And obviously in the podcast space, it's quite a niche podcast area, let's be honest.
Very niche.
Moto podcasts.
There's 6.
6, great. So what are you supposed to talk about? Like if someone, and he said something about you first, right? Have you ever brought him up before that?
There was one time where I brought him up.
You started it.
Yeah, well there was one time up, and I could just completely stand by it. He's he actually is a legit journalist in the sport. Okay. And I would not say that's what I am. I'm like a dude that just talks about it on my podcast.
But you've said on the podcast, I mean, the past episodes we've done, not that anyone would have listened to that who listens to Moto, but
either.
Yeah, but you've been like, I'm just a fuckhead with a microphone.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's like your whole thing. But I guess he sees
but the problem is because Red Bull's
snippets.
But Red Bull's put me in that show, and so like they're experts essentially. So it's like you've got this fucking dipshit among experts.
Kind of the same thing as what Andrew Schultz was saying. It's the American thing of like, hey, don't comment on our sport. You know nothing about, don't comment on something that happens in America when you're not even here. It's felt like it's the same energy of like an American going, and a foreigner commenting on our sport. Were you saying something negative? Like what? Why did he have a problem? So he just doesn't like that you're involved in Moto.
Well, the one thing that probably definitely started it is, so he's a journalist. There was this guy who was a guest on the podcast, Josh Hill, and he was 17 and he was he was making millions of dollars. Anyway, this dude came out and like was writing articles saying that he was like called him a stoner in like a actual publication. This is kind of like pre-social media too, so it gets like printed.
You called him a stoner.
No. This guy calls the rider, this young rider, a stoner.
Well, he's 17. So
Yeah, so he was 17
and enjoys motorbike riding.
and literally never smoked weed in his life.
Right.
So then that's where I was like, and then so that come up in the thing, and so
it was defamation.
yeah,
Not
and
really.
it was just like terrible
not
journalism.
yeah.
It was just terrible journalism. And then so
Was he
the
just trying to stereotype this kid into like a box?
Yes. And so the thing that is the problem with it is that kid then had to get drug tested
Before every
and so like, and then his career just kind of like didn't play out the way that it could have. And it's not to say that it was like this fault or whatever, but there is a responsibility there to like more so like lift people up than tear them down, especially if you don't have like the actual facts around it. So like, if you were right, then it's just like, cunty move, but you were right. So like, maybe he deserves it. He's an athlete. He's, you know, but if you're wrong, then that's just shit journalism. Like that's actually
you're just
terrible.
bad at your job.
Yeah, like that's just terrible to do that. And then you're a 40-year-old dude that is talking about a 17-year-old kid. There's some weirdness in that. Yeah, he's an athlete. And so like my whole argument was like, he got the rebuttal that we got back was basically he said like, oh well, he's an athlete and I'm a journalist and I'm allowed, like that's kind of the role of the journalist is to talk about the athlete. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So like, you put out your opinion because he puts himself out there to be criticized and judged. So why can't I criticize and judge you?
You're doing exactly the same
I'm
thing,
literally
right?
doing to you what you did to him, except I'm right about like objectively the facts of the situation. Like, so I'm hearing it from
what
him.
he did was just a bit, it was irresponsible if he wasn't certain.
And so you want to talk about like, to circle back to the tweet of like, you just want to use me for views. Okay, so you're using the highest prospect, one of the highest paid amateurs to come out of, you know, pros to come out of amateur racing, and then you're calling him a stoner to get clicks on. So what the fuck are we arguing about? Like, what are you not doing everything
that's
that is...
That's what I said, well, that's the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is like, talk about things that are trending.
Yes.
Create, like, obviously the game is to try and do that in a morally correct way.
Yes.
Which I think you do great work of. Like, I think you do a great job of that. Is from the clips I see on Instagram and stuff, you're always like, telling things like it is.
And I always want it to be better. Like, I would like the sport to move in a better direction.
Yeah, you're doing this because you
grow.
love moto. Like, why else would you do a podcast about this if you didn't love the sport? But I don't know. Maybe it's just he probably lives in America. Again, America is a different world.
Yeah,
and so that is the culture over there. To like, it's every man for themselves, and it's like he probably didn't even think much of it at the time. It was probably a throwaway comment.
It was for sure. But the problem is he gave me a layup.
Sure.
So I just had to dunk
in his face, man.
Yeah. And it does speak to like a real issue.
Treat that fucking guy like an Oreo. Just dunk it. Yeah. And I hope the guy sees that because he won't even get that. What Oreos?
No,
American.
Oreos are in America, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, he'll get it.
God, I'm going to get roasted for that by some guy who's like, in America.
It's an American company.
Yeah.
Invented in America. Staple of their diet.
Yeah. Dumbass Australian.
One of their national foods.
Fails to roast.
Fucking moron.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He tells it like it is. And I like that. That's why I like you. That's the thing as well. You got to admit when you're wrong. Like, I was like to you, I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan only had fighters on. Then we pulled it up and I was like, I was completely wrong. No, he got heaps of comedians on.
Only comedians for
shit.
like a long time.
I'm like, I don't think you knew any fighters in the first 100 episodes. I just thought that was the show, but I, again, didn't know anything about it. And that's really why you shouldn't listen to a lot that both Jason and I say.
Yeah, that's
another place he's gone wrong as well.
What's that?
Just taken, as you said, he's trying to say you have no credibility. He's correct, but you never said you did. But I guess Red Bull said you did.
Yeah, that's his argument.
Red Bull gave you credibility. So maybe you do have credibility now.
Yeah, I don't know.
If one of the biggest sponsors of the sport thinks that you are
credible,
then I guess
maybe
that's
you have
credibility. What is credibility? It's only
being credible.
Exactly.
But the funny thing is though, that comes out and then literally the next thing I say, the next thing I speak, this is the first time it's really happened, But it was like the next thing I just publicly like went out on a limb and had an opinion about, almost on cue. People were just like hating, trying to pull me down. Like other guys that are sort of like trying to do whatever in meat. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to have
Trying to pull you down.
Yeah, they were
to
like,
take his side.
nah, not, it wasn't, it was about a
just
completely
a
different
completely
issue.
different-
But it was
different.
like, oh, you're a guy now that we can pull
Oh,
down.
right.
It sort of almost, it felt like it had that effect.
Dude,
you know?
that's tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah,
That's
and
great.
and
Are
I
they
don't
Australian?
Yeah, it was Australian. Yeah.
We have that here. Can't do
Yeah.
well in Australia.
No.
As soon as your mate starts doing successful, even down to like the most basic level of like catching up with your high school mates and one of them gets a promotion, you know?
Yes.
In some toxic friendship groups, not all of them, but like, you know, they'll be like, oh, get fucked. Like,
Yeah.
whereas instead of being like, congratulations, you probably worked really hard for that. People are like, oh, how much you on now? Oh, God. Like,
yeah. Oh, well, your share.
yeah, people just like don't really like that. We have a culture, it's pretty sad, and
Yeah.
in a lot of entertainment industries particularly, I think of bringing people down.
Well, you guys faced a lot of that
yeah.
in the comedy shit. Like
Very
gnarly.
early, not as much anymore.
Yeah, is it gone now, you reckon? Or like going?
I don't get it.
So
at
you don't
all.
get it anymore
I'm
now?
not that successful, so there's not a lot to bring down. You can't pull me down below fucking sea level. So
you can't drag me down further than COVID.
yeah, that's
Reading
the thing.
Wheat Meats boxes?
You're gonna cancel me? It's like the virus did that, not Twitter. Woohoo!
I died of natural causes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Act of God. yeah. No, it was just one of those things. Like, I'm not particularly on the up. Like, I'm always just been. Well, I grew a lot when I was like 2 years in, and I think I grew way. I was way more popular than what my ability was at the time.
Yeah.
Like, my popularity did not match my ability, and now I've gone the other direction. I think.
Yeah.
Like, whereas like I'm like now probably even. Like, I'm like pretty popular. Like, career's going okay. You know, so
You're doing great.
yeah, it's, you know, it's cool. Like, I put on tickets on sale the other day, and like, cause you never stop moving. It's always next thing. I realized I sold, not this is a flex or anything, because I didn't sell very well the first year, but I sold like 45 tickets my first ever tour in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And then I sold that many tickets in a day.
That's
Like,
sick.
not that that's a crazy amount at all, but I was just like, oh, that's so cool that like, okay, because sometimes you don't feel like you're improving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you look at like raw data like that and you go, I must be on some.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been 4 years, but like I sold as many tickets as I did in my first year in the first 24 hours. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, it's not amazing, but and I'd love to, you know, obviously do theaters one day and stuff, but I'm like, that's great. And you know,
Yeah.
if I can do 3 shows, I'm trying to do like 3 shows, like 90 people in Adelaide. I'm like, that's great for Adelaide. Fucking
Yeah.
Adelaide, not a lot of people live there. So it's, you know, that's like always just the goal, is just to keep going. But yeah, so I don't think, I'm not that popular, where if I was like doing theaters and stuff, I feel like people would be nitpicking shit I say. And
Yeah.
podcasts and stuff, because like trying to pull me down. But I'm just doing like clubs. Like I'm doing like 150 seaters.
Can you see, like, is the comedy scene getting bigger? Like, in the 4 years, like, have you really watched it grow? Like, is it?
so
Wait, Ronan,
cool.
Can you?
I go to open mics
Can
now,
you
and
close that window, because it's just all those ads are fucking wigging me out.
I go to open mics sometimes, and like it's very cool. Like I have young comedians come up to me like, man, I started comedy because of you. And I'm like,
That's
what the
so
fuck?
sick.
And then like I'll go on like same gig. I'm like, well, mate, I'm here too. So there's 10 people here. It's a Wednesday night and it's 10 p.m. and I'm about to bomb as hard as you because this is
Good tough crowd.
Yeah, because this is a pokey den and people here did not know comedy was on. But I love doing those gigs. I still do those gigs because like you know, when I'm
Yeah, but it's like, that's your jiu-jitsu.
yeah, that's just like me working out. Like I
Yeah.
just love doing that because it's like that's how you get good. If you can make 10 people in a pokey den laugh, then they'll crush in a club. Like
Yes. Yeah. And there's like I think that's sort of what I was getting at before with you, is like to still be like loving comedy.
Yeah, I did
through
it.
COVID, it got taken away, and like for me, that podcast, like I doubled down on it.
Yeah.
It's like you can, we all in COVID, everyone got gifted like this fucking choice of how you could live your life.
I feel like I wasted mine a little bit.
yeah,
I
but
did.
you're still here.
I wasn't proud of the year last year.
That's fine. You probably learned from it. The fact that you can sit and say that means you probably took some shit away.
Yeah. No, but I know I work a lot harder now because I feel like I almost, you know, I had a year of doing not what I want, and now that I have the opportunity to do what I want again, as I was saying before, I'm now like excited again to do it.
But there's people that COVID hit and then they just give up. and then
Yeah,
they were
no,
just like,
I wouldn't do that.
yeah,
That's-
but that is real for people, you know, like people did hit a crossroads, and a lot of people went fucking left, and a bunch of people went right. So like, just the fact that you're still, you know, you've really found
Yeah.
that, like, because you find out how much shit means for you when it is taken away.
Yeah, but getting back to like the people bringing you down shit, it happens a lot more to like other guys who are bigger, like Isaac Butterfield. He's a
Yeah.
online comedian stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, sells crazy good and does great numbers on YouTube and stuff. A lot of like people, you know, as you've seen, it's in the news, like people try to get him cancelled and stuff for jokes. Like, you know, whether or not you agree with him or not, who gives a shit? At the end of the day, it's fucking pathetic trying to bring someone down who's just like, you know, it's like, just do anything else.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, at the end of the day, it's comedy, and it doesn't matter what he says, and it doesn't matter what you say about what he says. It's such a waste of time. So I'm always just like, I'm just doing me.
Does
I
Australia
don't give a
have
shit.
cancel culture? I don't think we have it in the same way, really.
In like no, not like
Is
cancelled.
there anyone that's been cancelled in Australia?
Oh,
Like,
look, there's some rooms that I can't get spots at because I do comedy online. Like some rooms in Melbourne who like won't have me on because I
yeah,
do
but that's
YouTube.
not like an Australian public.
No,
cancelling
but it's
you.
not. It's not a public
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's like a very like in the industry judgy.
Who are they? What are the names of the clubs?
I'm not gonna say
Fuck
that.
those cunts.
But that's the thing. I
You don't have to say it.
No, but it
Just
doesn't.
text it to me.
But it just doesn't matter. So it's like,
Yeah.
and you know what? Cause they don't want to have me on. I have the attitude of like, fuck you. I don't want to do it. Like, and then if they did come crawling back, if I got really successful, they're like, calm down. I'd be like, fuck yourself. Like, I'd like, go fuck yourself.
Or you
I don't
could
wanna
go
do
there
it.
and just roast their club for one
Sure,
set.
but
and just fucking-
that'd be then I'd be no better.
Yeah, I was gonna say then you just go into the level.
Yeah. So it's like, I'd just be like, go fuck yourself. I'll just do the places that, you know, that do like me and I like them. And yeah, I just do whatever. I just do my own thing. I feel like I'm not even in the culture of the stand-up scene much.
Yeah.
Because I'm busy. I don't have time to just like sit on fucking Facebook groups all day and argue with people. Like, I hear about it from other comedians. They go, did you see this in the Facebook group? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, no.
Like, what do you mean? It was all over Facebook. I'm like, firstly, I'm not 45. My mum probably saw it.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm like, secondly,
I'm TikToking for 9-year-olds
yeah,
over here,
dude,
bro.
I'm fucking woeing. I'm hitting nays. You think I have time for this shit? I'm like, I do like 4 podcasts a week. I run 2 Patreons. I run a business with Lewis. Like, we're doing other stuff on the side. I do 2 videos a week. I'm like, at what point does shit talking other people come into my schedule? It just I
It
can't be
shouldn't.
bothered. Yeah, I think I got a little bit of like upset about it early on
Yeah.
in my career because I was like, oh, you know, it's everyone.
Why does
Oh,
everyone like me?
people don't like me.
Yeah.
You know, which is fucking pathetic.
Which is
It's
no.
just-
I feel
it's
like
just
I'm
being
only
insecure.
I'm only just getting over that. I think like actually like I can read a super gnarly comment and just be like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird position to take. And then that's about that's about like
What did someone say to you? Something you were telling me you got a comment. Someone was like, just a weird comment, like trying to probably insult you in a weird homophobic way.
yeah. So the comment was when this guy talks, it sounds like he has a dick in his mouth. I'm just like, what's your reference?
That's why, like, when the people who say that on my stuff, because at least like your stuff, they could argue that they're not trying to be funny. Because often people will go, "You're not funny," and then say something that's
That tries to
obviously
be
intended as a joke.
Yeah.
And it's like completely missed the mark. And I'm just like, who are you to judge humor if that's like?
Yeah.
I'm like, no. The reason why you don't find me funny is because you're a caveman, and that's what you find funny.
Yeah.
You find jokes about like that's like a schoolyard joke of like, suck my dick, bro. And then someone's like, oh, you got him.
Oh shit.
Good
man.
one, dude.
Yeah, I just was like, I just don't understand the reference point of like when have
What does that even sound like? 'Cause- okay,
that's
so
what I mean. When have you heard a dude
Alright.
with a dick stuck in his mouth trying to talk?
were you okay? So I'm assuming. So if I read that comment, was this what you're doing on the podcast? I've said that for 3 hours.
Like, it's just a weird fucking reference. Like, just say anything that doesn't like put you in the
Because if you were doing that,
homophobic, but
Yeah.
also engaged in bulk sexual activity, like homosexual sexual
how does he-
activity.
yeah.
I was just like, you just got a weird
Like,
reference point.
What's
Like,
your point of reference?
yeah,
there?
you could just go anything unless you've like it's like incriminating to admit that you've been around a dude talking with a dick in his mouth.
Yeah. It's like, oh, whenever I catch up with my mates, you know, one of them.
Whoa, that's what we do.
It's like,
We're fucking playing FIFA.
Yeah, it's like, man,
A bet's a bet, bro.
Yeah, and like comments like that blow my mind. It's just so funny. I think shit's hilarious. I just laugh. My favorite new thing. I don't even actually read too many negative comments anymore. Like, you know, I'm sure they're still there. I don't really read YouTube comments anymore. But what I do love is my favorite, because they're from actual fans and they do like me, but fuck, they're so dumb. People going like, asking me like, where, okay, this is a ripper screenshot. So this is on TikTok. People on TikTok, their brains have been turned to mush because they watch people dancing all day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I expect that, and that's okay. And I feel bad for them, but sure.
Again, different starting points.
So here's a screenshot, right? So a girl has gone. So I've top commented immediately after posting a video. Just read my comment.
So Luke Kidgell on TikTok.
And I've commented this.
So the comment is 2021 Oz shows on sale. Melbourne, Adelaide, Geelong, Warrnambool, Ballarat, Shepparton. Use code WorldGym for early tickets. Smiley face emoji. Third comment down. Where do you do your shows?
You can't help people.
What do you do? What do you do?
And to comment that, she had to click on comments. The way TikTok works is to even comment, you have to read
The comments.
And she only commented. She was the third comment in the video, so she didn't miss it. Where do you do your live shows? Melbourne, Ballarat, Shepparton, Geelong.
I've memorized them already.
Dude, I couldn't have laid it out any clearer. You can't be clear. You know, we had to make our I'm not going to say that word, but we had to make my website. The Black Eyed Peas wrote a song about it. Let's get in here, right?
Retarded.
Sure, we had to make our website wordproof because
I remember the last time I was here, you were telling me there was like mad dramas with people just literally being retarded.
Don't know how to do an online checkout. Like it says on my shows, in bold, the first thing on when you go to buy tickets, before you can go down and click how many tickets you want, you have to scroll past a big bold line that says all minors must be accompanied by an adult. It's in bold and it's underlined. Because I did that because I know people are dumb. And I'm like, oh, if there's a line under it, they might read it.
Yeah.
There's like below the ticket spot, so they've had to scroll below to get this. There's like a ticket, like customer service email that I get, right? These things pop up in my email going, hey, I'm 16, just wondering if I can come to your show.
Nah.
And they go, and one was even better. He goes, hey, I read the thing. I'm 16. Am I a minor? Google it.
Yeah.
If you don't know the definition of a minor, that's not my problem. Also, if you're that stupid, I don't really want you there because you're not going to like the jokes.
There's a level of intelligence to follow these premises required,
and not even because it's me. like if you have a cock and touch it, you'll probably get a lot of the jokes. But I don't think that guy would have. It was crazy, man. It would shock you.
If I could give.
It's very funny though to rant about on podcasts. So it swings and roundabouts.
It comes around. If I could give people one serious, if someone said to me, what is your secret in business? Not that I'm a fucking business whiz, but if I had to give my own personal piece of advice, right? This would be the fucking diamond at the end of the book. Get really good at Google. That's it. That's the secret. That's the top of the tree.
Yep.
Everything trickles down from Google.
And it's just, instead of asking, just find it out for yourself because you'll retain it better that way.
Just type it into Google. It's
It's all there.
It's literally
a bunch of people uploaded a bunch of shit to the internet, and there's enough now.
All of human history.
We've done the internet.
Everything we know
is on there.
Is on Google.
So
if you go to google.com, but there is an art to it. There is a talent. Maybe some people are born with the ability to Google things properly, but I feel like I have a fucking success rate with
Yeah.
Google. Like, I can ask complicated questions and get to the fucking right thing. But man, get good at Google.
At the bare minimum, Bing that shit. At the minimum.
If
we're clutching at straws, DuckDuckGo it. But if you're, as long as you're putting it into some form of search engine, fuck me, ask Jeeves it. Just do anything to not ask me. Ask Jeeves, not Luke. Fuck you. I'm out. Rant's over. I'll calm down now. I got a little bit heated. I think I scared Ronan.
have you been drinking?
His rat tail almost fell off. And I apologize. He almost kicked one of his sandals off.
he's for those
They're off. He's out.
for those that are only listening, he's on the floor and he's pushing himself backwards, skidding.
It's like, Jason, you've invited this man here and he's
scaring me.
Oh boy, I apologize, guys.
Just
I promise
Google
I'm a nice guy. Like, I have to end every podcast with you being like, nah, guys, you know what's serious though? I'm not that much of a dick.
I love it. I enjoy these sessions.
I'm too raw.
No, I love it.
After 3 hours, I get honest.
That's the good thing about doing it for 3 hours.
You catch the real Luke.
Yeah, you can't.
I can hide it for an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I reckon if you're listening, this is a little inside gem for you.
Yeah.
If you're listening to a podcast that goes for an hour and a half, they can fake it.
Yeah.
You can't fake 3 hours.
Because you know what this is? This is now not a podcast. It's an afternoon. You're just listening to two boys who have way too much time on their hands.
Yeah, nowhere else to go.
I mean, I have to be at the airport in about 40 minutes, actually.
All I have to do tonight is eat and stretch.
Yeah.
Like, really,
Yeah.
like if that's we got Supercross tomorrow, got to watch some racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's why we can do the 3 hours. So where are your live shows?
Oh, man, I'll just refer.
Can you pull up the website?
Refer
as
to
well?
my TikTok comments.
LukeKidgell.com.
Melbourne, Adelaide, Geelong, Warrnambool, Ballarat, and Shepparton are the ones that are on sale.
Have you
at
had
the moment.
anybody from the Gypsy gang go to a show
Yes.
yet? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh no, from the first one. Yeah, because I did do shows after the first one.
Yep.
I have a few people that hit me up after I've done these podcasts last time. Now they'll listen to mine, which is super cool.
Perfect.
Very nice of you. You're very nice fans.
But so has anyone been to a show that you know of?
Yes.
Okay.
Bathurst, and that really
yeah.
that tracks, doesn't it?
Yeah, that
Moto
really
Town.
fits.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there was one guy that was like, I came here because of Jace. And he's like,
Dope.
and I was like, fuck yeah, love Jace.
I like that.
But yeah, so the reason why not all the national dates are on sale, not that probably anyone gives a shit, but it's because I didn't want to book too far in advance this year.
Just in case.
Because last year I lost a lot of money. A lot of venue deposits. It was a disaster.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Get in.
Yeah. JobKeeper just ended up paying for what I owed. Like,
Oh,
I didn't
no.
really profit out of JobKeeper at all.
Dude, I just didn't get it.
Well,
I just didn't do
we
it.
couldn't work, so it was like, I'm
Yeah.
glad it happened.
Yeah.
It covered my losses, but yeah.
Dude, you want to know what fucked me? I could have got JobKeeper. The thing that fucked me is I put out merch in March.
Full. Yeah, I fucked up in January. If I sort of waited 2 weeks to drop the summer World Gym ones, I could have got the extension. And did a massive merch drop, and unfortunately it went really well because I'm quite successful.
Because I'm fucking awesome.
People love buying my cotton. The humph. People love buying my sweatshop made cotton. That's not true. It's Australian made, guys. Quality stuff.
Might have got cancelled for that.
Not even.
No, you saved
Every
it. You saved it.
Every
No, you
YouTuber
saved
would
it.
sell shit made out of a sweatshop.
Yeah,
Not many would admit it on a podcast. But what was I saying?
So you missed the extension.
Oh yeah, I missed the extension. I fucked up. I did you, and it's a bummer, but that's alright.
Yeah. Nah,
Tickets are on sale.
I'm kind of glad, to be honest, because I had to get
Yeah,
creative.
you actually have to work
I had
for
to
it.
really
What,
have
have to work for money?
Yeah, it's fucking dog cunts.
Sucks.
It was fucked. There's so many people that I know that literally were like, fucking sweet. They just got paid to surf. Like,
Yep.
could you imagine getting JobKeeper?
On the
You're
Gold
a surfer on the Gold Coast.
Ah.
Your rent gets paid and the waves are good.
Yep.
And it's summer when this whole shit went
And
down.
you're actually allowed to go to the beach.
Yeah, and you can go to the
We
beach.
closed beaches in Melbourne.
Unreal.
Crazy. It was definitely sucked. But anyway, if you actually want to see a show and you don't live in any of those places, I would love to see you there. It would just be announced later in the year, like Queensland, and I'm going everywhere.
Can somebody go to one of Luke's shows purely for the fun of it.
Yeah, just go. You'll
And
have a good night.
I mean our fun of just take a picture with Luke.
Yeah, and then send
post
it to
about
Jace, you know.
I'd feel like I actually
Yeah.
can contribute something by having, literally by wasting Luke's time for hours in this room.
I mean, I asked to be. I said, "Do you want to do a podcast?" You know.
Yeah, okay.
I loved
fair.
it. Dude, this is so good. It's like, man, it's free time. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
It is, these are fun.
It's weird that we're being recorded because this is often what our conconversations are. It's
Normally,
like
yeah.
half talking shit, half getting really trying to get introspective, and then half just bagging, whoever's here. And I'm sorry, Ronan, that just happened to be you. It's nothing personal. You were just in the room.
You're in the room and started school in 2012. This is just what happens. When that's what you're working with, it equals roasting. Well, I really enjoyed it, Luke. We just did.
By the way, did you see my show bio before we wrap up? This shit gets printed in the Herald Sun, the biggest newspaper. Because you know how, I don't know if you ever read a comedy bio, but it's always weirdly written in the third person, and they're all written by the comedian.
People. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you write this one?
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's very because they're always just bragging, as seen on Have You Been Paying Attention, and really talking up their credits, trying to pretend like they're a big deal. So I've gone, the first half is what you think. With 3 national tours under his belt, Luke Kidgell has amassed over 500,000 fans online, has 2 of the most popular comedy podcasts in the country, and a special on Amazon Prime. It's almost unfair that his body is a work of art, and now this weapon is going on tour. It is simply undeniable that Luke Kidgell is one of the most physically elite and humble comedians in the country. He's also pretty funny too, but most people just know him for his mouth-watering read. I'm going to stop because that continues throughout the paragraph.
Keep it going. I want to hear all of it.
It's fine. I just talk about how good I am. I kill every gig I do because my tour's called On the Run because I'm always fucking killing it. Yeah. I always crush. I kill and they're after me. So yeah.
Makes sense.
Pretty humble stuff. So come see me on tour.
I would love for people to go do that.
Yes.
And hopefully next time you're here, it's in the new version of the studio.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Which would be cool.
Looking forward to that extra wall space.
I know. It doesn't.
I'm gonna get burned again from all these new LEDs that you were talking about.
I don't like. I've never really liked the light set up in here. They're very in your face. Is it distracting the whole time that you do it? Do you think?
I can see. What can I see? Yeah, the reflection of the light is in your glasses the whole time.
These are fucking blue light ones. But they're prescription, but then they got the blue light.
It looks like your pupils are blue. Oh, sorry, green. Yeah.
Colorblind as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, hopefully the new studio, you're in that. And I don't know, let's just keep the old...
I just want you to keep going onwards and upwards. It sounds like it's crushing. I mean, you got Ronan's new. The fact that you can pay someone is so cool.
It's scary still.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Jeez, that's what you want your boss to say. A lot of job security.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Hey,
Yeah.
He made
It's like, you think you're scared. Ronan might have a job in a week.
Ronan makes more money out of this podcast than me.
Yeah, so do my employees.
That's how it works, though.
I know. People don't understand that. I make the money off the tour, but all year long, I'm not making anything out of the content I do. It's just a year-long ad.
Yeah.
Which you have to do. Back in the day in comedy, you write one good bit and you get on the Tonight Show and you sell tickets all around the country. Now if you're 4 podcasts, 2 YouTube videos, blah, blah, and then people are like,
maybe.
He's just not relevant. I just don't see him much.
I might just watch him on YouTube.
Yeah, he's only on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Twitter. I just fucking never see him.
I always forget.
Where can I watch his shit? Doesn't even post.
And we'll end it on that. Luke Kidgell, thanks very much.
Thanks very much for having me.
You're one of my favourite guests. I appreciate every time you're on here.
You're one of my favourite Gypsy Tales hosts.
Fucking oath, I'll take it.
What a compliment.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favourite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.